What is up and what's going on, Pantheoners? Gotta find a name for y'all. I think I change it every Thursday. But we appreciate every single one of you guys joining us.
What the hell was that call waiting ass music?
Yeah, they changed it.
What happened to the doop doop boop boop? This shit. What is this?
It's letting you know. It's just that elevator music. We're coming. Letting the streamers know, the audience know, hey, they're coming. They're slow. They're late. CP time. But we're here. That's why the music was like that. We appreciate you guys being here. A few things to talk about today. Not a whole lot, but a few things we'll get into. We'll talk about the truth behind Kathleen Kennedy's retirement. We will also talk about the first look for Lantern series that is going to be starring Aaron Pierre, Mufasa. And we are also going to talk about Iyanu, the show. Is it a Netflix show?
Cartoon
Network show. And we're also going to talk about the rumored Academy or X-Men Academy Disney Plus show that is supposed to be taking the place of Strange Academy. Or maybe Strange Academy was never happening. It was always Strange Academy, according to Jeff. But we're going to talk about all of those things. Before we do, we always like to get a little rundown. It's been a week since you've seen us. So, Marcus, how have you been since last time we saw you?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Another day at work. Another week at work. Now we're off. Now we get to talk.
Chill.
It was a big election today. Made sure to vote. Very easy process. I was in and out 3 minutes. Loved it. Stretched some legs. Walked back home. So pretty good for me. Good week. Hit the comic book shop. Made a connection. Made a friend. Everything was good this week.
What are you voting for in Canada?
It was the Green Party for the province. Provinces are like states. So my Oklahoma governor was up for election, basically.
Oh, I see. We hate our governor, but I see. No, we haven't. We can't vote again. Obviously, you know that for another 4 fucking years. But we're not talking about that. So we are going to go ahead and get into the first thing. First thing we'll go ahead and get into. I'm thinking we should probably maybe save Kathy KK as the topic, unless you guys want to jump into that first.
I'd rather start with something happy.
All right. Well, that's right. We did have a. We did have a happy.
This is the creator of that comic shop series that was crowdfunded successfully, and she was in LA, and this is her story. 2-minute video.
Hey guys, I'm here at the Comic Den in Los Angeles on Slauson, and This is a Black-owned comic book store that just opened up.
Interesting.
So I had to show up, I had to pull up.
Look at that. She makes a comic book show, and then here comes the comic book shop.
They have shopping carts.
Yeah. People come and grab a whole bunch of stuff and walk out happy.
I'm here with the founder, Joe, and what made you open up a comic book store?
I've collected comics my whole life since I was like 5 years old. I wanted to teach my son to live his dream, and how can I not show him to go that path if I'm not willing to live mine? I talk to kids and I try to have them to be a hero, because you take heroes like Spider-Man, for example, a kid that grew up, in poverty, that struggled, but always wanted to do the right thing. Characters like Superman, for example, a guy that has the power to rule the world.
He looked like T.K. Kirkland.
A good father, a good son, a good husband, and no matter what, he'll make that hard choice, because we all know that it's easy to go and do the wrong thing.
Facts.
It's easy to go and do something bad, but to do something good is sometimes a struggle within us all, because we got to catch them while they're that tall, that small, and build their minds up and let them know, like, hey, you can create the next Batman. You can create the
Shout out
next
to Joe.
So I have a show called The Comic Shop.
Okay.
And it's about a struggling Black-owned comic book store in LA. So it's so crazy that this opened up during Black History Month, by the way.
Did that on purpose, folks. To tell you the truth, I heard about you I knew about you. Now I finally, the dots come together.
Isn't that
and it goes
crazy?
to show you how small this world can be, because I was just hearing about Cheyenne the other day, and now here we are meeting for the first time. Well, we are on 4912 West Slauson Avenue.
Write that down.
That is right across from Fairfax and Slauson.
I'm checking out these two.
Yeah, I want you to come back, so I want you to feel comfortable.
I want him to be a character.
I'm meeting a celebrity right
Oh,
now.
no.
Like,
No, not.
Okay, but you are to me, though. You know what I'm saying? Because you out there pushing it for the community, and that makes me just appreciate you even more. You like being nerdy, you love comic books, and you want to write a show. You got a show that you've written about a comic book store. Man, I'm glad you came in here today. Thank you. I can't wait to.
Hey, that is a Luke Cage shirt.
Aw.
Yeah, and the examples he was using was Spider-Man and using who can be the next Batman. This stuff is not race specific, but we were trying to get the little kids into believing in themselves and having these aspirational roles. It's crazy. And then speaking of aspirational, she's talking about this TV show trying to get it started about a LA black comic book shop. And then here comes one spawning out. So it's funny how that worked. Darius is not phased. He's like, we stopped the show for this little LA startup business. Really chill.
Oh no, I just have no thought. I mean, yay, he's happy for the brother.
What was his name?
I have no idea. No idea. Couldn't tell you.
Live chat.
But I am
Someone
happy
in
for
live
him.
chat. Who was listening?
Shout out to Joe.
Joe. Shout out that brother Joe.
You guys are on Slauson. I know Crenshaw on Slauson. That's where Nipsey Hussle's store was, but somewhere on Slauson, I forget the address. Salute to him.
Shout out that brother.
Stamina, what up?
You know who else is part of that show that we might all know from one of Christian Harloff's streams? You guys know Winston Marshall? Or Swaggy Bird?
Name sounds familiar.
But he's on the cast. Maybe I'll find a photo of him if he put it on his Twitter. No, he didn't. But he's part of the cast.
Nice. Where's this airing?
Where is it airing?
Platform?
Here, that's him. I don't know. We don't know yet. They're just filming it now, and then they'll find someone somewhere to pay for distribution rights.
Got it. Yeah. Okay. They'll start shopping it around.
I hope the best for them.
Sure.
It's like the community. It's the YouTube community's own. I love Winston. There you go. Official EMG knows him.
Well, I know one company that won't be buying it, so I know they're safe there.
Talk about Lucasfilm?
No. Well, I guess the entire Disney umbrella is probably not down with that.
Dog. Lucasfilm had the rights to this thing over here, and they didn't execute.
Really?
Crazy.
They had Children of the Blood and Bone?
Yeah, they had the whole trilogy.
Woo! Kathleen Kennedy. Way to go, girl. Way to show your diversity chops. But that's not the topic. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. We got other things to talk about.
I hope Joe shows up there. I hope they have a rival comic book shop and they like make an enemy out of Joe, and Joe is a character on the show. Give him a couple lines, or give him a post-credit scene or something. There's the shop across the street. What, I thought we were the only black-owned LA shop. Well, we're not, and they can go at it. That'd be good. I should write for them.
You should.
We'll do. I'll work on it. Moving on. Iyanu?
Iyanu? You'll have to take the reins on Iyanu. I have not watched Iyanu.
Iyanu. And I played it, this whole trailer, and thankful. 7 hours ago, there was a sneak peek, early preview. We're playing that. We're playing that, baby.
Is this show out?
No, it starts on April. It's based off of a comic book.
Oh, no.
You said, well, I paused for a reason. What was it?
No, go ahead. You said it's based off a comic book.
Dude said awkward silence. Yeah, it's based off of a comic book from Unique Studios. I liked it. I thought it was a cool comic when I was reading through it. The show is promising. It takes place in the past. but like no slavery and none of that stuff. So no stereotypes, just the past. Everyone's dark skinned. It's beautiful. So this is the sneak peek. Let me rewind that. Here we go.
My father Kamfo is the greatest of
Yes,
the Esho.
but my father is the Oba.
The Esho protect us all from the corrupt, including the Elumesi and the Oba.
You'd better stop.
Booty animation.
Go. This is Avatar. We didn't get the first season of Avatar. Okay.
Did you see that?
She saved the children.
Seize her now!
This is just like issue 1.
I guess I've overstayed my welcome.
She's just through here.
Ooh.
These are false wonders, unnatural. No matter, we go around through the main gate and cut her off.
Bruh. What did you say, Marcus? Because we couldn't hear you while the thing was going on. What did you say?
At first, I said it looks like it's given Avatar, like the first season of Avatar. And then when her mom put her arms around her, I was like, "Oh, she got that flat top."
Fatal J asks, where can I watch this show? Cartoon Network on April 5th, and then on the 6th, it'll be on Max.
First of all, Warner Brothers gonna tap your ass about playing their whole trailer. They froze their whole sneak week. But yes, no, this looks good. Also, while we're highlighting, shows that are on, is this going to be Cartoon Network or is this going to be Adult Swim?
Everything I've seen was Cartoon Network.
Cartoon Network, because Adult Swim has what is that? Is a One Punch Girl, I think her name is, or something like that. One Shot Girl. So not a similar premise to this, but another original black female character, young character, fighting is the premise of the show. Good watch if you catch some Toonami or some Adult Swim on a Saturday evening, Saturday night. You ain't got nothing else to do. I would check it out. Invincible Fight Girl. There you go, Leo.
Invincible Fight Girl.
Yep, Invincible Fight Girl.
That they're asking for a lot with that title, but okay, sure.
I mean, the title is what it is, but watch the show. Give it a shot.
I'm gonna play the official trailer also.
Esho warriors.
How was that? Look at that, and look at the palms of her hand where it's lighter, like everyone's palms is supposed to be. They actually got that
That's
right.
some of the characteristics that you don't see people pay attention to for darker characters. I'm sure, like whole hand be black, like the whole entire every inch of the hand be the same color.
People don't know, though. I should say people don't know that. People whose skin tone is literally this, they're not really considering.
Register. Yeah. No, I don't think it's always a conscious thing of doing it. It's just that you don't think about it because that's not how your hand looks.
Yeah. And so this Iyanu character, who her name translates to miracle or wonder, is this character who I'm really invested in. I like. She's just cool. She's aspirational as well. And then Iyanu is an outsider of the city that they were all in. The Elu is the name of that town. It's got a big wall again around it, kind of like Ba Sing Se, because this is Avatar.
Ba Sing Se.
Yeah, so she'll think uniquely, she thinks differently, but she's gonna make a couple friends along the way. I don't know, man. This has got so much potential, if you ask me. I'm rooting for it. We want comic books to be adapted to cartoons, to be adapted to live action. This is doing those steps.
Here's my question. How long does she stay that age? How long does she stay this age? I understand this is on Cartoon Network, but even Aang started to progress and got older. If this is going to be some sort of like saga or quest, like show, at some point, they're going to have to give us that little time jump, just a little boost. let's at least get in. She's like preteen age now. Let's get her to maybe mid to late teens and then elongate the story from there.
Bro,
I don't know if I'm going to stick around to watch an 8-year-old that long. This is just me. Now I'm a grown ass man. I don't know what the kids are going to watch, right? But in terms of creating a larger audience for Iyanu, I would say as soon as possible that y'all can get her to an age jump, get there.
You guys are joking with your little Avatar jokes, but that's my answer to Marcus. Avatar, they knew Katara and Angward were leading up to that big kiss, right? They're gonna age these kids up. She's got her love interests as well. So yes, by the time we get to the big finale, the big kiss, they'll be old enough.
But it's kind of how like when we were still doing comic books, right? How long do you expect new readers or new viewers to hang on and wait for what?
You're speaking my language, yeah. Because at some point we're just doing filler material. No one's allowed to progress anymore.
How long do you? So like, if we get into season 2 and she's the same age, I feel like we probably to the end of season 2 and she's the same age. I feel like we maybe missed an opportunity or so. Maybe somewhere within those first 2 seasons, she should take a jump and she should get into an age that feels more comfortable for them to start adapting more mature storylines. They're going to have to transition. When do they get that transition? Unless they just plan on being a kid's show all the way through and through, which to me kind of limits them, as a production, because I feel like you can serve both masters. You can be a good enough television show for children to consume and still be able to pull an adult audience. It just depends on how you progress the story, how the themes kind of start to progress. It can get more and more serious as the story goes.
They say Rebels was a kid show when it began, but I think most of us Star Wars fans like the way it ended.
I think Star Wars fans kind of dealt with the kiddier parts of the early part of Rebels.
But there's no built-in fan base.
Right, there's no built-in fan base for this, so you're right. Let's see, most animes are about preteens. I mean, right now, to start, I agree. It's just I think they gotta have a working plan on when to transition out of that. The timing's got to be really good.
Let me ask another question though. What about the voices? Is it going to be a handicap that they've got these accents? Was it difficult to understand what they were saying to you, or do you see it? We liked Black Panther, didn't we?
That's more the task of the writers to match the dialogue. It's not so much the accent. You have to have them using words that's common across ethnicities, across languages, really. Like you kind of try to flatten it out to the point where they may be speaking with a certain accent, but what they're actually saying, what you're writing, is decipherable enough for us to pick up as an audience. I don't think that's necessarily on the voice actors. That's on the writers.
Shaitan says, I want to let you know that I watched Elevation, the Anthony Mackie movie, and it was better than Brave New World.
Damn, that is crazy. That's insane. Because that movie made like less than $10 million or something like that.
African version of Avatar is nice. And then Ty Valentine tells us the accent was a little heavy. As I asked the question for a reason. I know, Marcus, you say no. Darius,
you understand it though. We ain't asked you if the accent was heavy. Did you understand what they said?
We understood what they could say. We did.
I understood.
And the facial expressions, and when trumpets are playing, and you got the archery going on, it's very universal.
Apply too. Like maybe you don't understand every single syllable, but again, it's incumbent on the people who are telling the story to provide the clues for the audience to pick up on so that it matches.
You guys know Kevin Davis is not a real account, right? Like this is just copy paste Wikipedia. He's been around for a little bit. My channel, Spoiler Kings. I've seen him around. Okay. Iyanu is a Warner Brothers show. This would be better on HBO Max, where folks will give it a chance. Children aren't watching Nickelodeon, Disney Channel, Cartoon Network anymore. Like, okay, Kevin Davis.
There's got to be some kind of audience for it. I don't think it's completely devoid, but would they not do it both? Would they not do both? Would they not put it on Cartoon Network and then also streamable on HBO Max? What is the point of buying up all these libraries if you're not going to use the content?
Just so soon is kind of what throws me.
I just watched the trailer for, well, while we were watching that trailer for the Iyanu, I watched the trailer for the Fight Girl, Invincible
Fight
Name
Girl.
Too Long show. Yeah. The trailer for that, see, my thing, and I say this about everything. I said this about 97. I said this about Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. I gave both, obviously watched both, liked them both. It's the animation for me. So maybe I'm going to have to watch it to see if, the animation actually grows on me, because it grew on me with Friendly Neighborhood. I was so against the animation. I'm like, this is really good. So it's the animation for me, because right now, I know you said it's giving Avatar. Well, it's giving, what's the name of that show for me? Sagwa, with the Chinese Siamese cats from from
Sagwa, you're my
PBS.
best friend.
Yeah, it's giving Sagwa for me with the animation. So I'm going to have to, I'll check it out for sure.
Go check it out.
I'll check it out.
But
the girl, no. I'm not talking about Invincible Fight Girl. I'm not talking about that. The animation, the animation for Invincible Fight, whatever, fuck that shit. I liked that. That looked in. I'm talking about the animation for Iyanu.
Iyanu.
I'm talking about Iyanu is giving Sakura. I'm not talking about Invincible.
Avatar vibes from the animation.
No.
Okay, Darius said, "La fuck no." He said, "La fuck no." Not my Avatar.
Like heavy, like
this.
Ty said. Ty kind of got the heavy on the PBS vibes. That's
heavy on.
That's why I said Sagwa. That's why I said Sagwa.
That's disrespect.
But I'll have to check it out. I'll have to check it out, because the animation, like I said for other shows, I've said the same thing and ended up really liking it.
It looks like other things that I've seen before. I don't know if I would kick it all the way down to Arthur. I don't think it's Arthur. No, yes, Slander will be tolerated.
Arthur, second longest running TV animated show ever.
Yeah, but also it's like public access TV animation. So I'm not saying that's what Iyanu is.
I think the future episodes of Arthur were kind of wrong. The older ones, they looked nice, the animation, and then they changed it somewhere along the line. I don't like it. This animation has no problems. Darius is just incompetent. He's got to
That's not true.
He got his eyesight checked.
I think as they go on, like this is literally the pilot footage that we're looking at right now. They start making footage for season 2. If it gets greenlit, it's gonna look worlds better than what we're looking at right now.
No. This is the problem. It was my feed. Okay, I got so many tabs open. It looked choppy. I'm gonna send you, or everyone can go for themselves and look to see. I don't know why you shaking your head at that. Now, see, before, fine, we could have given you that. Now you're just being.
No, you said it looked choppy. You said it was choppy. I'm just saying these cats look a lot like they could be in the next studio.
Jesus Christ.
I would check it out.
You also said that about the first episode of wrestling. You didn't watch WWE on Netflix, so sure you'll check it out, Darius. People don't forget, Darius. I'll check it out.
I am gonna check out this show. I really am. Wrestling, brother, I didn't get into that as a child when all my friends were into it, so there was no way I was gonna watch that. My friends had the action figures, the little set, the ring. I brought over my action figures, like I brought my Spider-Man, I brought over my Batman. I'm like, brother, I thought we was playing action figures. What the fuck? What is this? Oh yeah, I'm gonna be
action figure.
We mentioned something about The Rock last week, and then he, as the show was going on, he said, "I'm coming on TV," and he was on SmackDown, and he's going to be a character. It looks like. So yeah, that's a
He asked to take Cody Rhodes' soul.
What does that mean?
Pause. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever it means, pause. So I want your soul. Say, hey, you, Rocky, clarify, please.
Oh, that's funny.
I guess he's having a match in April 18.
But you want to know something else as we're talking about animation? I said the same thing about the Shrek. That shit tipped me out. Like it's not that I'm not gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it, but it's just
that shit looks a little soulless. I'm not gonna lie. What it looks like? You know what it looks like? You know the little fucking the baby dwarves that they're gonna have standing next to Rachel Ziegler in the new Snow White movie? That's what Shrek's animation looks like now. It looks like creepy, like I don't know. I don't
Why
like
is it
it.
so? It's like smoothened out, and it's weird. I don't like it. I don't like it. But we knew they were doing this because they said they were doing this. I just wasn't prepared to see it actually move.
Master what you've already done. People obviously
I
already
don't
like
know.
the last 4 movies that you made were under the same animation style. Not yet. There you go. Yeah. I don't. This is.
Yeah, Fiona looks weird. Donkey looks weird.
Yeah.
No, and then I saw somebody on Twitter say, so everybody's complaining that the animation doesn't look like it did 20 years ago. Okay, brother, no, stop. That's not. He was saying it like technology has changed. Yeah, that's true. Technology has changed and shit like that. But what's not broke, don't fucking fix.
Yeah,
Shrek's. There's nothing wrong with Shrek's animation.
Be able to do what was already done, even better, more proficiently. Not that you have to make something completely different.
There was nothing wrong with Shrek's animation. It was great. I'm still checking this out.
Maybe a bit nostalgic. Maybe they had to change the animation style to fit what's more popular today's kid audience. Yeah.
Because a friend of mine said it looks like the Croods. What's that caveman movie that Disney did, DreamWorks did, or whoever?
You got it. The Croods.
The Croods. Yeah. He said the animation looked like that. The next thing I think about Shrek 5 is, and I hope I'm wrong, but I think I'm going to be right. It is obviously not going to be in that same tone or anything like that first or second one. I think it's going to be very PG. What are the first two? Are they PG? PG-13?
Yeah. Well, there might be.
Are they PG? I don't think they're G. They cuss in it.
No, they're not G. It's got to be at least PG. It's got to be at least.
Shrek 2001. PG.
All the jokes they were making in there. Yeah, all the
especially Robin Hood's song, brother. As a child,
I'm thinking about the little what was that thing? They pulled the lever and it starts singing.
Oh yeah.
Do lop. Tie your shoes, wipe your face.
Yeah. No, we're not gonna have none of that.
I think we're gonna have some. You got that's Shrek. Again,
you think
if they are trying to shrink it down to kid audience only, like look at the more popular children's properties that are going on right now. The Nintendo stuff with Mario and
they still have some.
They still have some Sonic
adult humor. Yeah,
right? They still have jokes that would, you catch Robotnik giving you some jokes every now and again that only adults are going to catch.
But Sonic had a great adult joke where it didn't fit in and it didn't work, and then he blew on it, and he blew on the cartridge and he put it back in. Only 40-year-old, only 30 plus.
Only of us are going to know what the hell that is for sure. And so there are certain properties that are leaning into that a bit.
That's true.
We'll see which way they go. I don't know what DreamWorks working with nowadays. Oh no, DreamWorks did Wild Robot, didn't they? Was that DreamWorks? If that was, then that was a fantastic movie. They did really well with that one. Check my homework.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna check them out, or checking the Shreks out for sure. But that animation, like I read a comment, somebody said it's gonna be a hard one to get over when you watch it. But he said hopefully it'll just flow once it starts, we get back in it.
You done fucked up, right? We busted you because you said I'm gonna watch that for sure. You didn't say for sure for Iyanu, did you?
Did I say that for Iyanu? Probably not. Again, do I need to pull up the cats?
We're good on the cats. We're good on the cats. Next subject here.
Okay.
So there's a Disney show that's coming out. Strange Academy was canceled. If you listen to Jeff Snyder on the hot mic, he says there's another Academy. So his source told him there's another Academy coming. As an X-Men super fan, I love the X-Men franchise. Out of everything Marvel does, that's my one. Black Panther 2. The comic books have introduced teams. So there's the original 5 we all know: Iceman, Beast, Jean, Cyclops, whoever's 5, I forget. And then there's the team with Vulcan that was a secret one that when they were all trapped in Krakoa he used, okay? And that's kind of a retcon that Ed Brubaker created in like 07. Anyways, there's that team. There's the New Mutants team, Sunspot. You know what I mean? There's a lot of them, all right? There's I missed the giant size X-Men team with Storm, Nightcrawler, Colossus, and some other people I'm forgetting. Then there's the Generation X team that they came out like in the 90s also, and that's got some people whose names I forget right now. Everett Sink was part of that, I think. They've got the Grant Morrison sort of, this is a school now. Quentin Quire gets invented. What's Emma Frost's 3 triplets with the Cuckoos? The Stepford Cuckoos.
The Stepford Cuckoos.
Dust. We kind of lean into the new X-Men Academy X with Surge, with there's a whole bunch of them that are there, okay? Rock Slide. What's his name? With the telekinetic guy with the green. All these, there's a whole bunch of characters. Then we get into sort of another generation of mutants with iBoy, Nature Girl. We kind of don't care about them. Anyways, that's about 6 or 7 classes I just introduced to you. And if this show, the Academy X show, can be a 6-season, 7-season show, no shows ever go to 6 and 7, I know. But if it could, and they could introduce a new class with every season, and they can kind of phase up some of these mutants into X-Men status, starting with, of course, Rain Sinclair and with Mirage, Danny Moonstar, and Sunspot and Cannonball in them, starting with them. And then we can phase in and we get some new stories of new kids and just follow these guys amongst their journeys. That'd be like the best case scenario for Marvel. I am happy with the rumor, because nothing's confirmed, that they're thinking about doing a live action show about mutants who are lesser known. And you could have a cameo of like, here's Iceman walking down the hallways. Hey kids. And Wolverine can smell somebody. Watch out for this one. And he leaves over. Like, all you got to do is pay the actors like a cameo fee or something like that. But we can include them and tell an overall arching X-Men story. I think it's the best thing that Marvel could do, is to have the X-Men show and the X-Men movies. So like the show would end and then a month later the movie's out on screens. Who's that? Everyone's watching it on the trailer. Who's that character? Who's that character? Well, you got to watch the TV show and you can kind of get to see some of the characters.
If you get your way and there's graduating classes of X-Men season over season.
Not every season.
Okay.
Sorry.
Do they? Yeah, I was just saying, do they run intersecting to the movies, like in between X-Men 1 and X-Men 2? And then there's like season 2 of X Academy, and then season 3 will be in between X-Men 2 and 3.
I'd say annually there's always a new season of the show every single year, but there's not going to be a new X-Men movie every year. But when there are X-Men movies coming out, make sure that the season is trailing it, just so that when the finale happens, the trailer for the new movie is already up.
All right. So first of all, Mofly, I see your question. I'm gonna answer that as soon as we get done talking about this topic. I don't think it's gonna be anything like that, man. Unfortunately, I don't think they have. I don't think that they being Marvel anymore, I don't think they plan connectively like that anymore. Right? So the idea of them planning and them saying, okay, we're going to have this X-Men team introduced in this phase. We're going to graduate to this X-Men team in the next phase, and that's going to coincide with this movie. They haven't had that level of connectivity since Endgame. And now they're trying to get back towards it, so they say now, right, leading up to Doomsday and Secret Wars. But it still remains to be seen, right? Still a whole bunch of stuff happening in very public parts of the MCU that other individuals or other factors or people that we are going to expect to be factors going forward are not queuing in on, are not showing up. They're not saying, hey, do you need any help, Sam? Hey, do you need any help? Other person who's fighting in a very public setting. None of that is happening. So it's not very connective at the moment. So it doesn't really give me hope for there being a very long-term plan. Now, what could they do in short order? I think to mesh what's already existing from the Fox universe, what they've kind of done with Kamala Khan, the other little breadcrumbs that they've thrown out there, is they could go the X-Men evolution route, right? You do a version of this thing where you kind of mix and match the team. Yeah, Wolverine's grown, but Scott, Jean, and
Are the same age as Kitty Pryde?
Kitty Pryde, and who else? Rogue. All of them are still young, and you got a grown Storm, right? We can start mixing and matching some of these characters based off of what they've already casted, by the way, too, right? So if Scott and Jean and Rogue and Kitty and Kurt all got to be cooped up in the school, fine. Leave Wolverine and Storm, and let's add some more. Let's say they get Bishop and they get Forge, or they get some other ones like that to be the grown adults in the room that are actually running the school.
I disagree. I think those are movie characters, and you can't put them on TV quality.
Well, the problem is that are we expecting there to be different versions of these characters in the television show? So we're expecting it not to be Hugh Jackman's Wolverine that shows up in X Academy?
I don't know what to expect, actually.
I think that's most likely. I think it becomes very convoluted if you're paying Hugh Jackman to continue to be Wolverine, and then you have another Wolverine in the television show. That's very convoluted. You're not paying that man all that much money to play.
But I don't expect the actors who are going to play. I only expect Hugh Jackman and Logan being the one that stays over, whatever happens in Secret Wars. I do think all the others, it'll be rebooted. New Mystique, new Storm, new everybody.
No, that's cool, but then that puts him in a position of not having to be mixed up with the rest of the cast. It makes sense for him to be the older standoff veteran the way that he was in X-Men Evolution, right? And then everybody else can still be in school.
I want the first episode in that school to be graduation for Scott, Jean, Storm.
Yeah, that's what we all want. We want
and we would just
start
watch
out adults. That's not what's
and I want to watch a brand new team, like from the point of view of the new young guys from New.
You think they casted Sadie Sink to give her high school graduation in episode 1?
Well, we don't know if she graduated or she was casted, but if she was gonna show up in this show, the only form I want her to show up in is as an established X-Men team member who is a mentor to the main cast of people who they're not going to be the focus. They're the movie characters. We'll feel honored. Oh, look who just walked down the hallway. It was Cyclops. Oh, Beast. He's got the blue fur. That's cool.
But they're not going to do that because they would have already had to have been something or established or fighting already in the MCU somewhere if that's the case.
Yeah, their movie's coming up in a month.
But you're expecting them to write that in seamlessly. Like they've been out here fighting crime on Earth and we just didn't know about it. We had no clue.
This is hard to argue because Secret Wars hasn't happened yet, and we don't know the shape of what the universe is. I can't.
Even if we're saying that they're coming from another place, right? They've been transplanted here. Why would they have kind of effect? Okay, well, cool. That's what we're going with. We would still be realizing in this new world, combination that we just put together, who those individuals are. They wouldn't have that reputation for the new individuals of this world.
Well, obviously, none of us, like Chill said, we don't know anything yet outside of rumors and things, but let's go off of what we do know. And what we do know about the X-Men so far, this is fact, is based off of the Marvels. Seemingly, whatever is going on in their universe with the X-Men, they are established. Whatever they are, this is not like because when you had Binary. We've never seen Binary in any other X-Men project. You had Binary there. You had Beast in the lab talking about, I'm going to go talk to Charles. Seemingly, there's already an established X-Men universe with the established teams. They've already been. But do you really think that universe is not just going to be like the Fantastic Four universe and they're just going to bring those X-Men over? Why show them in the Marvels if that's not the plan? And just Secret Wars. And just from what we've heard from all of the scoopers, like they're pulling them over. I think Marvel would have a much bigger job to do explaining to us, the audience, why the fuck the X-Men have been in this universe the entire time and never done and helped with us. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Again, if you're going to bring them over, you might as well bring over adults. Like we're bringing over ready-made X-Men as it is. We're bringing in baked-in X-Men. So if you're doing that, then yeah, bring over grown people. But that would run directly counter to all of the casting buzz that we've been hearing so far as well.
Yeah, just bottom line is we don't know. But then Brad Winderbaum is this new variable who didn't exist previously. He's in charge of Marvel Television, and maybe he'll have this the know-it-all to do it this way, the way that we would ask for. He's in charge of Marvel TV. X-Men 97, I know we give a lot of credit to Beau DeMayo, well deserved. But he was a part of it. And even though they're scrapping the Beau DeMayo script of season 2 and 3, we still don't know if season 2 and 3 will be bad with what they do that's new.
Could we at least see season 2 before we start anointing Brad Winderbaum?
I'm gonna be honest.
Okay, yes.
Like I don't trust them yet. It's just not. We're not there yet.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a bad idea to do X-Men on Disney Plus. That's just my opinion. I don't care if it's a show. I don't even care if the show comes out after the movies. We've seen the Disney Plus formula. We've been doing it since 2021, 2020, whatever, but it doesn't work. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. The Disney Plus formula doesn't work. I think it's going to work with Daredevil, again, just because pre-established, you're picking up where you left off. If you pull in the Netflix people, maybe it might be a little bad because the stench of Brave New World is still in the air. I don't know. But I think this Disney Plus, for the X-Men, I don't think it's a good idea. I just don't. I don't think it's a good idea. Unless you are really going to put your foot in this shit and really do it, Marvel's gambling.
I have my concerns about Daredevil, not with tone, not with Matthew Cox. Obviously, he's great. I think the villain, from what I'm hearing about, well, at least the villains that we've had named, right? I think Bullseye is going to be there, and then Swordsman. It's just kind of slight, you know. Kingpin's not going to show up, or he's not going to be a factor in terms of a villain. At least that's what the guy said, the guy who plays him. I think they're going to struggle at a certain point. Were they 8 or 9 episodes? Without somebody that we actually want to see Matt Murdock fight. But then again, you know, we have no idea. Like you said, we don't know anything. But let's say that
the Muse character actually has me pretty interested.
Okay. Cool.
I think the Muse character is going to be a pretty interesting character. We're talking about a character that is maiming his victims and hanging guts and hearts and livers and heads.
Again, how deep into that are we actually going to? We heard
just from what they've said, it's going to be pretty dark.
They gave us this same talk for Moon Knight, and
they did.
That was their version of the darkest MCU project so far. So don't.
But we've seen these trailers
that they don't plan on cashing in on. You know,
I'm saying the trailers from Moon Knight compared to the trailers for Daredevil, starkly different.
Blood and gore and how much they're actually going to get into what it actually is you were talking about. How far are they going to get into that? Because they said a lot of things about Moon Knight and then got right up to the door and then let it go. They impaled a man with a pole. We all saw it, and there wasn't a single drop of blood. It was Fantasyland.
Now that you're raising your voice, Marcus, there might be a microphone issue. Just tap on it. We don't hear it. I didn't hear the tapping. Check your settings. Great rhyme. Maybe I'm wrong, but I didn't hear tapping. Gifted didn't work. Legion was weird to me. Can I ask you why it didn't work? Did it feel like it was a shell of the X-Men universe when Gifted? I feel Disney Plus only works for the street level characters.
Even what Lawrence said, where he said Echo 2, I'll agree with that too. Like, I agree, both of those were. But if you go back, you look at what are you saying? They're not showing blood in the Daredevil trailers?
I didn't see it. Did you see blood in the Daredevil trailer?
Let me show you. Let me show you the newest. It's in the first trailer they gave us, but the newest TV spot they gave us for. Oh yeah, blood's in the trailer. Blood's in this new blood. Blood's been unless I'm seeing things. Blood's been in it quite a bit. The newest TV spot is Kingpin beating the shit out of somebody, and there's blood.
I haven't seen that. I didn't see it. So Kingpin is in it. Why they be lying so much?
Yeah, Kingpin's in it. Kingpin is one of the villains. Muse is one of the villains. Bullseye is one of the villains. This newest TV spot was about Kingpin, and it was pretty interesting.
Had him seen the little conversation of them sitting down, having that conversation at the diner, right after he's elected. Was it mayor? in New York. But like I didn't. Again, communications from the actor himself and they were saying that they weren't gonna play a role. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, we just gotta. You have to prove it to me. You gotta prove it to me. I liked Netflix Daredevil.
Oh yeah, they got some work to do.
But you gotta prove it to me. You gotta prove it.
Work.
It's not playing lip service and just thinking that it's going to get butts in seats again.
Well, this is what we got for X-Men 97. Season 2 will release in 2026. Rob Liefeld said, and yet another
Rob's
blow.
hurt.
Way to kill all momentum. X-Men 97 was wire to wire the best piece of entertainment Marvel produced the last years. Bode says,
Rob's just hurt. He's still hurt because he didn't get invited to the party. So he's still sad and mad. And he's just, I think some of the jabs he's taking is petty. It's him being butthurt.
You've read why there's a delay. I had the season locked in animatics February 2024. After my departure, the usual execs came in and tore it to pieces for being too complicated and ambitious and wanting something more kid-friendly. That's not why they got rid of it. They got rid of it because
that's not why they got rid of it. They getting rid of it because it's not be more kid-friendly. Than
Bo's story changes every time. Every time.
He put it in quotations. I think he's like, that's the official reason. And he knows it's BS. So I wouldn't say he changed his story right now. Why are you not on code, Darius? This is a bad week for you. Rather talk about Cyborg.
I'm sorry. Here, I was looking for this, what I just sent you in your DMs, but what did you say?
I just said he put it in quotations. He knows that's not the official reason why. If you pull it up again.
Wow.
For being too complicated and ambitious, it is in quotations. They're still rewriting season 2 right now while barely getting through season 3.
I just want him to answer my fucking question. What's the mandate with T'Challa? He's doing all this damn talk. I just want to know. I just want to know, what were you told? That's all I want to know. What were you told, Bo? He didn't tell me. I asked him. I asked him.
He's responded to people about it. He said that he felt like it was too soon. He was riding that emotional wave. Everybody in Marvel was.
I know, no. But I want to know. I get what he said, but I want to know what Marvel told him when they came in there. Did they say like?
I don't think Marvel told him shit.
Oh, you're thinking he just went off of too soon, not T'Challa.
When they put out a directive like what they said at what was that, D23 4 or 5 years ago, when they did that, that was a signal message to everybody who worked on projects in Marvel. No, I don't think they had to go back and send out a mass email. I don't think Kevin Feige had to sit down with all the heads of the different departments. I think they heard what Kevin said. They rolled the wave of, oh yeah, Chadwick, that's our family. Yes, absolutely. Protection, honor. Yes, Kevin Feige, Slay Queen. And then that's all that was needed. They didn't need to say anything else after that. That's how it works. That's how the trickle down happens.
I still don't like it.
So I'm over here on the side looking for the Bo DeMeo tweet about continuity over something. That was his reason why. I think, while it is true that message that Kevin Feige gave to us December.
His portrayal of T'Challa, the Black Panther, is iconic and transcends any iteration of the character in any other medium from Marvel's past. And it's for that reason that we will not recast the character.
Of 2020 trickled down to everyone else, and he knew that. But on Twitter, he was acting like, no, we had to not use T'Challa because at the time that's how we felt. So I think he agreed with it also. And there is also a mandate because there was a Freudian slip when Jake Castorino was talking about it. And he kind of was nervous and kind of said the word
that's
mandate.
What I want to know. It very well could have happened. For me, just thinking
it did. I just want him to answer it. Just tell me.
That's all you got to say. Like, we all knew what was up. Like, when they said that they weren't recasting the characters, and there's probably been other things. Maybe there was someone else who attempted to use T'Challa in another project, and they got smacked away. And that sent another message that was clear enough for them to be like, oh, so it's
Put that black character back on the shelf.
Yeah.
Don't touch that shelf. Don't open that door. We don't do that over here. Nick, get your ass out.
Kevin Feige would not have to definitively say out of his mouth, do not use T'Challa to get that result.
Of course not. It's a look.
Kevin
It's just a
Feige's
look
more
in the. It's a
powerful.
look in the office.
Kevin Feige wanted Kamala Khan to be a mutant, and now they're writing a giant-sized X-Men book, going back in time as if Kamala Khan was there. I don't know what the goal is of this because I haven't read it.
Are you trying to
You want to know what's gonna be funny? You know what's gonna be funny? Somebody on Twitter said, Kamala Khan, why y'all asking for an X-Men show? She's gonna be the main character.
Hey, if
oh shit,
the leader of an X-Men team, I'm gonna fucking throw up. I'm going to throw up. Amon Vellani's probably gonna throw up. She's gonna throw up while she's recording it. She's gonna be like, "What is this filth that I'm making?"
Yeah.
I have found almost every piece of news just hilarious lately. Because it's just like, it's like, okay. Oh shit, that's funny. Oh god, when they said that though on Twitter, I was like, you know what? That is so Marvel. that is something Marvel would do. That is something Marvel would do.
I want to run something by y'all, and it was an interesting little thought project. What if, because again, I am not necessarily of the thinking that Fantastic Four, Thunderbolts is just going to save Marvel Cinematic.
I'm so nervous.
I'm not there. There's not enough evidence out of what's come out of these last two phases that they still have the ability to grab when they have someone other than Hugh Jackman or Tom Holland on the screen. Okay, outside of those two box office punchers, it ain't been looking too good. Okay, so do we believe that Marvel knows that most of the stuff that they've put out in phase 4 and 5 is garbage?
I would sure hope so.
Do you think they know that, or do they think, okay, cool, we bided our time, the normies ate it up, now we can hit them with the big stuff, and we'll get over the top?
I think they know. I think they know that they have produced some shit. Okay. Are they ever going to address? I think they addressed it. I think they kind of somewhat addressed it in a humorous way in Deadpool. They allowed Ryan to say the things that he said. So I guess I would say they know. They're aware of the things that people are saying. I mean, you would have to be in a delusional state to believe that, hey, we're on the right path. Let's chug on. And the whole thing, like with Brave New World, if Brave New World hits 425, for them, that's
they made that damn number up. They made that damn number up because that's based off of if they spent $180 million. That's under the assumption that we're still believing that this once, twice, thrice delayed movie only took $180 million to get to the finish line. And that's the 425. And even if that's all true, that is just dead faced even, dead balls even. We don't owe anybody any more money. We don't have to pay any more bills on the film. That's not talking about any profit. It's not talking about anything else. So that's not a success. And the idea that Thunderbolts has to be 5-10 times better than Brave New World even to be seen as serviceable. Let's be real, man. They raked in.
No.
Go ahead, Darren.
Oh, no, I just said they have a real problem. They do. You are coming off of I don't care if Daredevil. I was saying at one point, if Daredevil does good, maybe. But even with that, we're talking getting people. Daredevil's at home. People are at the comfortability of their home. They can sit down.
Go buy a movie ticket, especially when everything he's going to see in Daredevil has nothing to do with what's going on.
Nothing to do with what's going on. Exactly. That's the thing. So I personally don't think Daredevil's going to move the pin or needle rather for Thunderbolts. And as high as I was on Fantastic Four, and I personally still am high on Fantastic Four, I don't believe the audience is high on Fantastic Four or the Thunderbolts. the stench of Brave New World is still going to be lingering in May when we sit down to watch Thunderbolts. The audience is still going to be, bro.
Thunderbolts has
Yeah,
to
especially if it doesn't hit.
Can't be an average
has
film.
to. And I just don't see it knocking out the park. Now, the test screenings for Thunderbolts have been positive, way more positive than the Brave New World ones. But again, we're talking about test screenings where people are going to see it based on, like, you know, this is Marvel's internal little views that they're doing with people.
Yeah, they're not testing it to the public. So
it's not tested to the it's not tested to the public. And this is also, again, the audience didn't go see Brave New World. You had what's the guy, the Japanese video game maker? That a lot of people, some people were going at his head, but a lot of people were, people were agreeing with him too. Like, he was like, and then he's like, and then there's something about a new Avengers, or am I getting that mixed up with the Thunderbolts? I guarantee you, a lot of casuals checked out a long time ago and are just now catching up. And like, who's and what? And like I said, I think I told y'all, Corey's dad called on the phone to Corey, but before we went live last, it was like, when did Captain America? What show do I need to watch where he can? Bro, I don't think people know. Like, they just don't know. They don't know. So they're not gonna go. I don't think casuals are gonna go see this. Now, are they gonna go see an Avengers titled film? Yes.
Now, hold on now, Darius. Hold on now, because there's still a leap. Because think about what the feeling was from that same group of people, from the normies in 2018, right after Black Panther premiered. We going into Endgame. What was the feeling? Was there, hey, what do I gotta watch to see who gonna be fighting Thanos in the next movie? What do I gotta watch to see what happened?
The feeling
everybody's
is
engaged. We're locked in. We're theorizing. We're staying up sweaty parts of the night, theorizing about Endgame. Is any of that going on right now?
No.
Is any of that going on right now? So Tuesday is just going to get dropped in the middle of our laps, and we all just gonna go crazy, and we're all just gonna go nuts.
And see, this was what I was saying this on my stream too. I was saying the same thing. I was like, the conversation around Doomsday with the film being next year is not where we were Infinity War Endgame. When we found out that it was titled Infinity War, the theory started then. I'm not saying there's not theories on Doomsday. I'm not saying there's not conversation online. There is, but the conversation is you have to type in Doomsday. You have to go searching for that conversation. I'm not scrolling on my For You page and seeing people just having that conversation. The morale is not there. It's very low. It's very low.
We would stand up till 3 and 4 in the morning watching streamers talk about a show we was just watching, and that was just 5 years ago. That was WandaVision. They have lost that completely. It's gone. It's evaporated.
And they know.
Yeah, you'd be well.
Yes, they had some quotes before, like, we know we work better when our backs are against the wall, when we're fighting for underneath. There was a quote like that.
Feige did say something about being an underdog and trying to. I remember that. What was? Let me find that shit.
It exists.
I remember.
And Michael Nemo with the super says, "You're joining a bit of a low point." I want to say this is the Deadpool quote. Does that sound right, Marcus?
The Deadpool quote.
Yep.
That was it. There you go. Yep. Super nerd over in the building. Michael Nemo.
Shout out to Michael Nemo.
Now get that money, honey, act like you know. Mama, I like how you dance, the way you fit in them pants into the flow, take it low.
You notice how that one was not on beat. Remember how you said Tom Holland was on beat with the other super chat?
Yeah.
And then my girl from the Australian Olympics was just.
Now get that money, honey, act like you know. Mama, I like how you dance, the way you fit in them pants into the flow, take it low.
I just couldn't find a song for her.
This is what Feige said. This was in May, so this was last year, around the Deadpool time. Kevin Feige says he's comfortable with the MCU being the underdog again. I prefer being able to surprise and exceed expectations. Sean Levy added, "You'd have to live under a rock not to know that the last few Marvel movies have failed to ignite the world in a way that so many did." I guess it was
Sean Levy said the second part. The second one was worse than what Kevin gave.
Yeah. The second part was worse than what Kevin said, but they were sitting.
Sean Levy has license to say that because Sean Levy hasn't been part of the decline, and he also is making the film that's pulling them out of that. So he He's
Kevin
clean.
still
of
gave this
all
quote though. He still
that.
co-signed it. Like
He did. Listen, lip
uh-huh.
service is lip service. Has they shown you on the big screen yet that they've made a conscious effort to improve?
Takes time. These movies are in development for 2-3 years, so we'll see the effects of it later. Brad Winderbaum effect.
If that is,
I see
we're
what Chill is
offline,
saying,
though,
but
you
I
know?
also see what you're saying too, Marcus, because it's the same. I mean, I think both ways on it. I mean, is Thunderbolts that film? And there's only one more after that, and that's Fantastic Four. Now, granted, nope, that's not true. I was about to say, granted, you got Spider-Man, but that's after Doomsday. So I don't. Fantastic Four, man, because I can tell you right now, Thunderbolts is not gonna be that deal that like. Now maybe because it's coming out in summer blockbuster, maybe it can have some legs in its second weekend after some word of mouth. But if not, if it doesn't have a second, then no. I would even say if that first weekend is very low, the odds of a second weekend having a word of mouth is not going to be there either. So then you would be hinging on the Fantastic Four. So that means that's 2 movies now that you've had that have stunk before the Fantastic Four. If people aren't going to go see those 2 movies, brother, I don't know if Pedro a big enough name to do that, to pull in. Well, then no.
Or Vanessa Kirby.
Then they've got
How about
some
just
real
the
praying to
title
do.
of Fantastic Four that has never historically been a box office winner?
But I feel like there is some hype generated because Fox owned those properties, and we were always wondering when they would show up in Marvel. That's been happening for 10 years.
So here's the thing. I do think there will be a bit of a Marvel bump.
Yeah.
Right? So if their top film in the other iterations of Fantastic Four only topped out around 450 million, then that Marvel bump should bump you somewhere in the 600 millions, 600, 700 millions. If Fantastic Four makes $700 million, they're going to implode. Burbank will literally fall off the face of the earth. If Fantastic Four, this version of Fantastic Four, only makes $700 million, whoa, that is terrible. Well, that's Fan Four Stick. Look at some of the older ones. That's probably what I was leaning more. Not some of the worst comic book content of all time, but you know, the ones with Alba and Chiklis and Chris Evans. Let's check in on those. Where we at there? All right, yeah. There we go. Okay, 335 million. It was up by 100 million.
I contributed to that.
So the Marvel bump will get you somewhere into maybe the 500 millions now, right? But do we expect them to go from $300 million to $1 billion because of Pedro Pascal and Vanessa Kirby?
Yeah, that won't happen.
So again, we've already have to adjust the expectations down because of the title that we're dealing with. But then you add on the expectations that this is supposed to save the MCU. If they go up there and they post a 700 ball, which is
I agree with that.
Which is very ambitious.
That's fair.
Should call that a success. Fiscally,
I agree with that.
Yeah, I would. But is the rest of the general public going to look at it that way? Thor: Love and Thunder made $700 million.
Did it?
Without China, yes.
Look it up. Thor: Love and Thunder made hey, shout out to Tina, because we was arguing in the comments about this, and she peeped me to that. Thor: Love and Thunder made over $700 million
without China.
So is it really a success if the film that's supposed to be saving your entire studio only made $700 million?
This is where that RDJ shit comes in. Pulling on nostalgia, pulling on what are they doing? This is where I would say you may not want to show him just yet, but if he truly is going to be in the Fantastic Four in some type of something, I've heard just a post-credit scene. Either that second trailer better really do some damage, or you've got to reveal RDJ a little bit earlier than you maybe wanted to, because that's the grab, is it not? Is that not their last thing that they're trying to, like? That's why we called him.
Trailer 2.
If
Trailer
Fantastic
2 is
Four don't jump, they're cooked.
Trailer 2. When the Superman movie is happening, they'll be watching the second trailer for Fantastic Four, not the teaser, the official trailer. It'll be 3 weeks away, 2 weeks away. That's going to be very important. How do you make people who are already, proven to show up in this month of July to buy a movie ticket? How do you make them come back in a couple more weeks with your Fantastic Four trailer?
Oh, that is this year, is it not?
Yep.
I don't know.
Is Fantastic Four this year, this summer?
Yeah, this summer.
Oh shit! It is this summer. It's 3 months away. Oh, so you're saying what if Thunderbolts does not get the attention that it needs? What is then making people come see the Fantastic Four?
It's just going to be
literally a month later.
Thunderbolts would have really benefited from a movie like Brave New World doing well,
doing good.
If it didn't, it's going to have a negative impact on people's, I don't even really know what Thunderbolts is. And the last Marvel movie I saw was crap. So maybe I'll just skip this one and wait for it to hit on Disney Plus.
But if not a lot of people see Brave New World, that doesn't happen.
Well, it's residual. It's the reputation around it. If you didn't see Brave New World, you're not going to go and spend your money to go see Thunderbolts.
Good point.
So then now you're doubling the effect. You got two stinkers rolling into Fantastic Four, and Fantastic Four is in the most competitive month of the year. It's got Jurassic Park. It's got Superman in the same month within weeks on both sides of it. I am not convinced. That's why all this talk about what we're going to talk about last with a certain studio exec, maybe, stepping into Kathleen Kennedy's. Fam, he has to get out of this year. He has to get out of this year successfully. Let's see how the rest of this year.
And I can't wait till we get to that one.
Yeah.
We're there. Let's do it. I don't care about Marvel. Let's get to Kathy.
No, because we were talking about Kevin possibly taking over for her, correct?
Right.
The good old days where, like 2 days ago, where Hollywood Reporter was making articles like this. They've got a succession problem. Who's going to be replaced Kathy Kennedy? Will it be Favreau, Filoni, Feige? And I read this whole thing, and I was like, oh my God, I'm chomping at the bit. No matter whoever it is, it's always going to be better than Kathy Kennedy. Remember that? Those are the days. Good times. I was so happy.
Well, after seeing the Andor trailer, I tweeted, you win, I'm out. You guys win. You can have it. I'll stick to what I love and know in Star Wars. You can have it. I'm done. But then, we got the report of, hey, she's retiring. And I was like, God, are you, can we come back? Had said what I said on the stream the other night about it. But she just did, just dropped a interview before we streamed tonight, and this is what she said. Kathleen Kennedy says, we'll probably make an announcement months or a year out, and I have every intention of sticking around to help that person be successful. Now, here's the thing. Kathleen Kennedy, even though she is going to be leaving or retiring from Lucasfilm under the position of president, she is still going to be producing. She's still producing all the several upcoming projects. So think Amy Pascal. When Amy Pascal got fired from Sony, but she still went on to produce all the Spider-Man films. And she's still going to be, she's still answering questions about Miles Morales and what they're going to be doing with this and this and that. That's going to be Kathy. I'm not president anymore, but we're doing 9 more Ray films. I'm not president anymore, but the Force is still female. I'm still here.
Okay, now it's starting to come together. It's starting to make sense. Because I was hearing that it was either going to be, it was going to be Filoni for sure. It's going to be Filoni and Favreau. We really wanted, the trades wanted to be Kevin Feige. Let's just sit that in the pocket. Let's talk about that lastly. So in terms of the Filoni Favreau of it all, Filoni seems like, obviously, right? That's like obvious who they would choose to go with. Favreau, I think, is who most fans would vote for.
Yeah.
I've heard some explanations on why he might not take it, and the easiest one for me to understand is that he already makes more money than what studio heads make now. like he's making more on a per episode basis now than James Gunn is making as a studio president. So it doesn't make sense for him to take a pay cut and do more work. I think this is a dead on ringer. This is a dead on ringer because if you're telling me that Palpatine's going to retire, but then Palpatine's going to exist in the shadows the same way Palpatine existed in the shadows of this new Star Wars universe that Palpatine has created, then yeah, if I'm Favreau, I'm not going to end up being Poe in the last trilogy. Get me the fuck up out of here. I don't want to deal with that. And Filoni is the exact person who would take that job, knowing damn well Palpatine Kennedy back here is breathing down your neck.
Of course.
Breathing down the neck.
Since we're using Star Wars examples, because he is the Dooku of the apprentices. He is the yes man. He is the I'm going to do whatever you say, master. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You took the job once. Why
He's the yes man. I love Dave. I love Dave Filoni. I think he's done some great fucking shit in Star Wars. Some shit I rave about. But Dave is a yes man. Dave is not going to be the guy to tell Kennedy, hey, I understand that you were president. You put me in this position now. We're going to hold off on the Rey films. He's not going to do that. He's going to greenlight the Rey films and say, hey, onward we go. He's not.
I'll do my best.
And Favreau's just, you know, we heard about the beef between Favreau and KK during the season 3 changes of The Mandalorian, when she said, oh no, hey, we're gonna bring Grogu back and we're gonna she was like, oh no, we're gonna sell merchant, and Favreau's going back with her like, no, we have plans, this is what we set up for, and he's back. And then we got him unnecessary.
He was in 2 seasons. The Grogu merch was moving perfectly fine.
It was fine.
So he can be in that robot. Yes, no, that sold more merch. Was that really worth it? No,
I haven't even seen a toy of that. I ain't seen shit of that. So no, like they never should have done that. They should have let Favreau do whatever the fuck it was he was gonna do. So since Kennedy did what she did, fucked it up and said, we're gonna throw him back in there unnecessarily. So John doesn't want it, is what some people are saying they heard. John doesn't want it.
Yeah, and I wouldn't want it either.
I wouldn't want it either.
If you're going to still allow her to make content, what's the point of you retiring?
It's Gina
Just
Carano.
stay here.
They need to keep her happy because Gina Carano needs to. She's going to be a witness. Kathy Kennedy will be in that trial, and you can't have her be scorned against you. Bob Chapek already is a wild card who, if he's subpoenaed and he's on trial, and he's saying, actually, we did. Yeah, we made sure we made a statement about this cat with Gina Carano. She wasn't employed by us, but we went an extra mile to defame her. That's what Bob Chapek's going to say when he hits that stand.
There is no way. Gina Carano stuff aside,
it is Gina Carano's fault.
If they let this woman make more Rey movies, just sell them.
Oh, they're coming.
Sell it. Cash in.
They're coming.
Call Apple and say, name a price. Call him. Call Bezos and see if he wants to spend 50, 60, 70 million dollars on a studio to add next to MGM and pitch it. Let it go. Because I'm not on this train of, oh, well, Marvel knows that they're making bad content. They just keep putting out bad content because it was years in the pipe. That's what cancellations are for. I don't want to hear this, oh, well, Star Wars, even though they had diminishing returns on every theatrical project they put out year over year over year, they were trying to expand their audience, and the expansion of that audience that they've gotten, now they're going to placate to them even more, even though they know it's not the most profitable thing to do. That sounds like absolute horse shit. It sounds like brain melt. It sounds like somebody's trying to twist themselves in a pretzel to make nonsense make sense. So again,
I'm convinced she wakes up every day and thinks, how can I fuck up this studio? What more can I do?
Why don't she make more ETs? Tell her to go remake ET. Make another. Take her time.
Do that.
Keep her busy. Yes, a new imaginative story. Put a girl on the bike. You know, Kathleen loves shit like that. Go tell her to remake ET.
Call it
TV. But I guess I didn't read the whole quote, and I didn't read the whole quote because I saw the Geeky Cast posted this, but I thought they were being facetious and saying like something. No. The full quote from Kathy is, I will never retire from movies. I will die making movies. She's that's the full quote, and I feel like in the first quote she gave when she said, "And I can assure you, I will be there helping this person every step along the way to make them successful." I feel like she's directly speaking to us. She's directly speaking to the fans and saying yeah, I see all y'all having these fucking gifts of Star Wars celebrations and shit about me being gone. I'm letting y'all know I'm not going anywhere.
She said, "Let me hit
We're
up
doing 9 more Rey films."
She saw what happened last time because she tried to end the Variety article. This was a day ago with Rebecca Rubin, where it said down here, she intends to retire after her current contract ends, according to a source with knowledge of her plans, which is Kathy. A separate source close to Kennedy, however, dismissed the initial report by Puck as pure speculation. That's Kathy. Kathy is giving these, and it wasn't effective. That was from Variety. Then here comes the next day. We get that big article I just showed you with Deadline, and she's just starting to, no. You guys don't understand. All this is BS. Kevin Feige, who I'm the one in charge here, and I'm going to be producing more movies with more Sean Levy and everything. Yeah, that's me. I'm Kathy. Kathy Kennedy is not leaving anywhere. Don't feel happy at all. She watched Geeks and Gamers, and they mentioned Donald Trump, and she said, no. And they did mention Donald Trump in their video. They said, thanks to Donald Trump, this is happening. And she said, she lit up. It sucks that the loudest voice anti-Kathleen Kennedy is that group. And it's like a political divide. But because of that, like, she definitely went in here and she said, I'm going to talk to Deadline. And they asked some crazy ass, wild ass questions at Deadline that she could only give the worst possible answers to. This was all a plan. That's her. That's her intention. It sucks. Haha, you guys lose.
No, for real, we do.
We do lose.
It was a man. I was happy. I'm gonna be honest. I was like, oh my gosh.
Disney way. So let's just take us back. 5 years ago, maybe 6 years ago now. It's 2025. When Bob Chapek resigned as president, right after the numbers snafu with the early days of Disney Plus. And their CFO kind of almost blowing the whistle without officially blowing the whistle. Bob Iger comes back into his seat. Leaves, retires, comes back. No succession plan. Same thing with Kathleen Kennedy, apparently. She's going to retire. Only she's telling us she's going to come back. She's telling us she's going to come back. They even given Nate Moore the same courtesy. Yeah, leave. No, you don't work here anymore, but you can come back and do Black Panther and whatever else you're still involved in. Like, do you still so you can get fired or just quit from Disney and just keep collecting checks?
If you know where the skeleton bodies are buried, they don't get rid of you on bad terms. They let you.
What does Kathy know?
He got a favorable deal.
What does Kathy know?
Does she know? Gina Carano?
Yeah, so, I mean, what does she know? What skeletons get out of here?
She'd probably go in there and tell how Bob Iger jujitsu Chapek out of his seat. back how he never left his office in the C-suite of Disney in Burbank, although there was a new president there.
It's sad because Chill. Can you pull this up here? I'll just send it to you. It's sad because we're talking about Star Wars and that Andor trailer. It really vexes me. I've never heard music like that ever in the fuck a far away in Star. I've never heard. I've never heard it. So Star Wars has always had its own unique sound and everything like that. And I just feel like they are literally just like, you guys see that? We put that music in there. Fuck you. Like, it's like, yeah, we're doing what we want to do. Like, it's like, what? So it's like fans now are having to resort to making their own shit. Like, this right here is dope. This is fan made. This is dope. This is just part one. This is what should have happened instead of them saying, hey, let's do The Force Awakens and make up our own characters and do this and do that. If you just would have done this is literally next. If you just would have done this, then hey.
Coruscant.
Hello, Luke.
The twist in this is crazy, though. They did change
with you is coming.
Something that is not in the book,
must
but
continue on through the Force.
You can't go. I need you here.
It is time for you to train a new generation of Jedi, not as the last of the old, but as the first of the new.
What if I need your guidance?
Call upon the Force, Luke. It will always be your ally.
Yes, Master.
Hey.
Master Luke, is everything all right?
I was just saying goodbye to an old friend.
Mistress Leia was concerned and asked me to check on you.
She's been practicing her Jedi skills. Tell her everything's fine, and that she should get some rest.
I will, sir, but I'm afraid she hasn't been sleeping well. But with Han Solo still away, and the morning sickness, of course, these winds will certainly change things out here.
That's cool writing, how he slipped in morning sickness.
yeah. She is pregnant during this time with her and Hans. This one would be Ben.
That's right, Dravis. We're looking to hire smugglers.
Okay. And does this have something to do with the New Republic's ongoing fight with the Empire?
No. What we need is to get the trade routes going again.
Ha! Come on, Solo. You know these smugglers don't want to answer to nobody.
Hey, everyone answers to someone. Now, that used to be Jabba, but who's the big fish these days?
Well, I guess it's no secret. I'd put my money on Talon Card.
Talon Card, huh? Well,
yes, Raymond.
We're gonna
yes. Let the Force
You'd
flow.
like to know, wouldn't you?
Mara, come in, please.
Oh,
Have a seat.
Marjay!
Yes, bro. It's all dope.
This is merely a business meeting. I want to discuss your promotion.
Promotion, huh? I've only been with the group for 6 months.
Why wouldn't you?
Time
wanna
has
do
never
this?
been as
Why
important
wouldn't you
as
wanna do this?
ability
Everything
and
you
results.
say you want.
I've been lucky.
I don't believe in luck.
Everything you swear to
And
God.
that is
you
why
want.
you're going to be my
Women's
secretary.
empowerment,
If you
strong
give me that
female
much
lead.
authority, I'll use
here.
it.
Right there.
Yes.
Yes.
It's safe, sir. We've got an Imperial Star Destroyer in orbit. We believe it to be the Chimera.
Give me a hailing.
Yes, sir.
See, now Thrawn's entering the Chimera.
Wow.
Imperial Star Destroyer Chimera. I am Talon Card. How may I be of assistance?
You got Talon Card, one of the other.
We are in
Such a
no
good
need
smuggler,
of
bro.
assistance. We are only here to collect some specimens from the forest.
I think you and Grand Admiral Thrawn will find collecting Islamari to be very difficult. Yes. I know of the Grand Admiral. Allow me to send some assistance your way, free of charge.
Your generosity will be remembered.
They're going after Skywalker.
And she loves him already?
They're not married yet. She's after him at this point.
Yeah, she's got sent to kill him.
Grand Admiral, 2 shuttles have been dispatched to the surface to collect the specimens.
Good. One more piece of the puzzle complete.
What exactly is this puzzle?
The only puzzle worth solving. The complete and utter destruction of the rebellion.
This is where it ends, but it's the twist they do is dope.
The final component. Mount Tantis.
Oh, I know where this is.
Yeah, Lucasfilm botched that shit too.
Many storehouses.
Yes. And none more important than here.
Mount Tantis.
Are you the guardian of the mountain?
I killed him.
Stand down, Rook. I am Grand Admiral Thrawn, warlord of the Empire. Who are you?
Ron even has those lizards.
Hey! Hey!
Jedi Master.
Whoa.
They found Mace.
And now, you die.
Everyone wants Mace.
How the hell did
So-
Zeus get the well, no, hold on. Why did Mace get the damn lightning powers? Now I gotta see episode 2.
Yeah, they're replacing Mace with Jorah Sabaoth, who is the rogue Jedi in the book originally. But I like the twist with Mace because it's like, okay, that does work. You know, Mace is presumably still alive, and you know, what other place could he? Yeah, it's dope. Like they could do stories like this. It sucks that fans have to do, like somebody said, awful AI. It's not that great, but it's just like, damn, we have to do that because we're not a $1 billion studio has the money to do that. It's not hard to do that. It's like just crazy, bro. It's crazy. So I'm excited. I'm anticipating part 2 of that shit.
Yeah, that's only a 3-week-old video, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Subscribe to Jar Jar Gone videos. Jar Jar Jargon videos.
Yeah, pretty interesting. But yeah, no, she's not going anywhere. I mean, she even just gave a quote about Taika Waititi's film. Like she's talking about some shit I thought was dead.
Why? Go away. Nobody wants you here. Nobody wants your crap. Nobody wants Taika Waititi to do a damn Star Wars film. Who asked you for that?
No one. I don't want him anywhere near Star Wars.
Nor do I want some of the other people that she done. Like, oh yeah, let's get that Patty Jenkins Star Wars Rogue Squad. No, no. Go away. Take you and your friends, go start a new production company like everybody seems like they're doing nowadays, and go make movies with a whole bunch of studios. Leave Disney alone. Leave Disney and Lucasfilm the hell alone. Sick of it.
She's taking Lucasfilm to the grave.
I also don't think that she just gets to lose money in perpetuity. She's got to have a win in here somewhere. I think the fact that Lucasfilm television was kind of holding them afloat for the time being was a balancing factor with the film, since they had, abandoned films since The Rise of Skywalker. Now they're not winning at anything. Nothing is happening.
She decided, I own Lucasfilm. I can do not Star Wars things. That's a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
Willow, Indiana Jones was the last Lucasfilm movie.
Yep.
We saw what it did.
Yep.
How is
Acolyte?
Yeah.
I like. I enjoyed a little bit of
a lot of L's.
What was the last
Big
one?
L's.
What was the last one? Fucking Skeleton Crew. But that one didn't do much either.
There's promise with the
movie
that John Favreau and
those
Dave
poor
Filoni are
kids.
Okay, so let's talk about that real quick
yeah.
before we get on the lanterns. Favreau's movie, all right? Filoni and Favreau's movie. Do you think the whole stinky thing was a Kathleen Kennedy special?
I don't know.
Probably.
The Save Jabba the Hutt's son. That just sounds like buddy cop shit with Grogu being a baby again, where we can go on an adventure that's safe enough for him to be in.
He's supposed to talk.
Anything about Thrawn? Dog, I don't give a shit anymore. It should start talking a whole season.
I don't either. Yeah, nobody said shit about Thrawn. Nobody said shit about anything like that. Like, bruh, it is insane to me.
If I learn Jon Favreau is Aaron Magruder in season 4 of Boondocks, if I learn he left, then I will not care. But so far, I care.
I mean,
this is what.
If she's gone, then that gives them the opportunity to write the course before that movie is done being shot. But it doesn't seem like she's leaving.
No, because she gave 2 quotes. I'm sorry. This is what she said about Taika. I think if we ever do get a script from Taika, it's going to be fantastic. I've already seen the first act and I loved it. It's just tying him down.
Act.
Then, wait a minute. She didn't stop. Of course, she had to talk. Oh, no. This is not about Rey. I'm sorry. They threw me off with the picture. She said,
that is so
Kathleen Kennedy says Sean Levy's Star Wars movie starring Ryan Gosling will be set maybe 5 to 6 years after The Rise of Skywalker. So we are in that one deep.
She don't know
she's
shit.
She's still here. Oh, no.
No.
She's still here.
I hate that she's making those quotes because it sounds like she's still confident in being able to work there.
Very reactionary, and she just wants all of us to hate
But
everything.
yeah, I don't think that any of that is legitimate ironclad. Listen to what she said about Taika Waititi. She said, "I can't wait till we get a script," meaning he has never handed her a finished product of his concept. She doesn't know whether or not she has a film or some high thought out of Taika Waititi's mind, but she's talking about it in publications.
Why?
And then she goes so far as to tell us that she's only seen the first act. People, that means that she's seen the first third of the movie or what's written for the first third of the movie, the first 40 minutes or so. That's it. That's all that's been written about the movie. She doesn't know anything. You don't know shit. We made fun of
They
James
don't
Gunn
have
talking
shit.
we made fun of James Gunn talking about how, we don't bring anything to production until there's a final script. That is seeming so much more, even though it's bullshit, but that's seeming so much more logical than what's going on at Lucasfilm right now.
So what does it benefit to her to mention the Taika movie, the Sean movie, the other movies, so that when things get canceled, she gets to cry a bigger victim? They canceled 5 of my ongoing projects. I had so much going on. So she'll be fired.
Oh, she probably wants that though.
Yeah.
Because so she can usher in those 9 Ray films. Ha 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 ha. Now that you directors are free, we got some Ray shit to do.
Lose money forever. Something has to go right. Because now she's in even more of a vulnerable position. They can just ignore her. Like if Bob Iger gets annoyed enough, he could just ignore her. You're no longer the president of Lucasfilm. Gina Carano's court case won't be a thing indefinitely. They'll come to some sort of resolution. She's no longer bulletproof. As president of the studio, she was bulletproof. At least if somebody decides to grow a pair in that area of Disney, in that area of the
Favreau,
company,
but he's not going to stay.
then
It's Favreau.
then you can do something.
It'd be Favreau or Feige. I do believe Feige because I think they have beef anyway. Because if you go back to those a long time ago, when those rumors came out that he was going to be doing a Star Wars film, and then awkwardly got asked about it on the red carpet, where he was like, no, I moved away from that. I'm not doing that movie.
Yeah, I
or
got
whatever.
a whooping, and they said I can't do Star Wars no more till I fix Marvel.
Yeah. So I think if anybody, he would be the one to go over there and say, okay, yeah, we're not gonna do those Ray films. And he does know Star Wars. He has said multiple times that is his first love, even before Marvel.
Yeah, sure, whatever.
So
I don't want to see Kevin Feige over Lucas.
I don't want to see any of them do it. I don't know who. I would want Dave to do it, if not under Kathleen's thumb, and free to be Dave and John.
I just want her gone, and
that's
Dave
it.
can do it because Dave is already chief creative guy. Everything runs through him. But if she's deciding I'm doing a Ray movie, it's just got to run through Dave. It's still a fucking Ray movie. Excuse my language. So
what's still a Ray movie? Oh, that's coming. That there's no shaking Ray.
Yeah, but also Darius, it's coming, but they haven't started anything yet. They announced a lot, but they haven't done anything. So that's why I'm still in this stage of, yes, she still seems like she has some sort of power within that studio, and yet still nothing is getting made.
There's not power. Because for her to run over to Deadline and do this interview, it's because she has to do it. If she had power, she lays low and watches from the sidelines.
I do think it's telling on which story broke first, though. Right? This wasn't Kathleen Kennedy. She's out in front of it. She announces that she'll be retiring in a year, and then we get all of the it's going to be Dave, it's going to be Kevin, it's going to be John. But it came out, it marinated for a bit. We got the who's it gonna be next, and then we got Kathleen Kennedy's response. So that's a little telling to me.
The first response, this is pure speculation. It wasn't strong enough, so she did the big interview, that Deadline that Darius keeps reading at and making me very frustrated.
No, I'm sorry, I'm about to frustrate you more because she said more.
Oh boy.
Simon Kinberg's new Star Wars movies are the new saga that move us into the future. She keeps saying us. She keeps saying us. So she's saying we and us, and
Did she say anything about Ryan Johnson? Is he part of us? Benioff and Weiss?
She better not.
Patty Jenkins.
Yeah, I don't think people get more
Nothing
efficient
for
in their
Lando?
late age. I think she's getting more efficient. I don't think she's going to have more levity to complete projects as an external producer than she would as the head of Lucasfilm. She's not getting more powerful. Like, it sucks that she's still around in some capacity, according to her, but this move is not a move that's made for more power. Right? Like, if she ends up eventually president of Lucasfilm again, then I'll eat crow. But like, something from outside of the clubhouse is inherently lesser, even if she still has her ties to the studio. Has to be. Has to be.
She's still going to be producing, though.
So then give her shit that doesn't matter. I don't know, man. None of this matters if the next president isn't going to nut up and take the studio for herself. And the benefit that we all have is that this is Hollywood, right? And as much as people may have cowered to Kathleen Kennedy's influence and power while she was the president, if you give somebody that same title, you best believe they're going to try to wiggle out of her influence. For sure, they're going to try their best to get out from underneath her thumb.
How about she already paid Daisy Ridley the whatever million? They've already put so much into the development of this Rey movie. You can't cancel it because we already paid everybody. Everything's set, scheduled.
Paid them for what?
I think they're not. I think they're not, even if they haven't turned anything in yet, I think they're not canceling it just because the woman in question is so fucking stubborn. She's going to do what she wants to do. She's like, no, we're doing these Rey films. We're doing like before, bro. We're like, yeah,
So
it's
does the fan base need
crazy.
to boycott Mandalorian movie? Is that what needs to happen? That movie needs to make so little money that Kathleen Kennedy can't.
That's
stay
not going to
around?
be a direct. That's going to be much to her.
On David.
She's going to like that.
Lose. You can't do
She's going to
anything.
like that. No, it has to be something. Unfortunately, if what y'all are saying is true,
The Rey
and we're
movie
going
has
to
to
get that
happen.
movie regardless, it's got to happen, and she's got to fall flat on her face again.
Which
That's what
will
I'm
happen.
saying. She cannot keep rolling over these Dial of Destiny type failures.
Yeah,
it's just not going to stand. No one's
So-
going to sit up there and take responsibility for some 80-year-old taking movies from outside of the studio indefinitely.
So we gotta hurry up. We gotta not watch Andor and let that flop. We gotta hurry up and get this Rey
I'm
movie
not.
coming in 2027. I guess 2 years
Won't
away
be
from
there.
right now. 26 is a Mandalorian movie. So 27, that movie comes out.
Thinking
and
about it.
World does, and we finally go. Okay, actually, that would be logical. Never mind.
Yeah, let's see. Not watching Andor, thinking about going to see the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. I don't think they have any shit else going on. They got shit else going on. That's it. I think those are the only. Those are the.
I think they should back the Brinks truck up for Jon Favreau, and if he says no, look outside the umbrella. It's the best chance you have of anybody actually standing up to Kathleen Kennedy and saying no. Is those
That's
two
it.
options?
That's
Back
it.
up the
And
Brinks truck and make Jon Favreau say no to the biggest payday he'll ever have in his life, or you go look for somebody outside of the umbrella and you try to do a culture change, which would also effectively push her out.
I say go for John. You have John and Dave do it, like Peter and James, and let their minds together. Have given us some great Star Wars content. I say let them do it because, like you said, and John is the only one that's gonna tell Kathy to fuck off, get out the fucking room. We're changing all this. We're turning this whole thing around. Ray who? No, we're not even doing that. No.
Hey, yo, Daisy, put the fries in the bag, baby. Put them in the bag.
We're not doing it.
Let me remind you something.
Statement provided to
Last
CNBC,
year.
Lucas wrote, "Creating magic is not for amateurs. When I sold Lucasfilm just over a decade ago, I was delighted to become a Disney shareholder because of my long-term admiration for its iconic brand and Bob Iger's leadership. When Bob recently returned to the company during a difficult time, I was relieved. No one knows Disney better. I remain a significant shareholder because I have full faith and confidence in the power of Disney and Bob's track record of driving long-term value. I have voted all of my shares for Disney's 12 directors and urge other shareholders to do the same.
Why else would he do that?
That
Other than
sounds
he's
like
returning to become the president of Lucasfilm at Japan Star Wars Celebration. It's coming. Bob Iger is and is going to make George Lucas's dreams come true. That will be the new president.
He's older than Kathleen, considerably older than Kathleen. It's not happening. Not happening. I'm still wondering who wrote that statement.
Why did he
His
write
wife.
No, thank you, Darius. I don't think he wrote that. The guy who calls Disney white slavers is not also urging all other shareholders to vote for Disney because making magic isn't for amateurs.
Well, he did it because Nelson Peltz was trying to take over the company. It was an either or. It's like some people voted for the Democratic Party even though they got problems.
Why do you give a shit what happens at Disney? I thought they were white slavers. I thought they destroyed your IP. What happened?
Yeah.
I can't feel sorry for a guy who willingly thrusts the people who he's trying to tell me are so bad back into positions of power.
Yeah, from here, I don't know what happens with Star Wars. We'll have to wait to see. And like I was gonna say, when you brought up Skeleton Kids, those poor kids. What was that big con that was just in Orlando? MegaCon?
Yeah, that sounds right.
All right. There was a Star Wars panel for those poor kids. I watched a video of someone giving a tour of the con. They panned over there to those poor kids and they said the same shit. Well, no one's sad. No one's over there for them, but it's not really their fault. That's what the guy said on camera. No one was. I was like, those poor fucking kids. You got those fucking kids out there signing nobody's autographs, watching the con from their seats. This is Lucasfilm did that to those kids. If I would have been there, I would have said, let me have y'all's autograph. Blame Lucasfilm. This is Kathy's fault that no one's in your lines. She gave the audience a shit show and expected people to be like, hey, that was great.
Skeleton Crew didn't look. Andor's gonna do the same thing. All of you Andor fans, the character dies in Rogue One. He doesn't have the Force. Nothing gets furthered. We already know the Empire are evil. There's nothing that's gonna happen in this season.
I'm confused as to how we even got a season 2. Like, where is this fitting in? This has to be the most narrow slither of time in between when Cassian pops up in Rogue One in season 1 of of Andor. Like, where does it's just got to be the most narrowest bit of time?
We got a super chat about Andor. Let's here. This reminds me of Kathleen Kennedy.
All the money in the world couldn't even amount to a teaspoon of honey when it melt in your mouth. It's the Locks and Mariah's. You checking us out?
Oh yeah, she's definitely she was doing that on her way to give this interview. Yeah, she's like, oh, I'm about to piss him off. I'm not going. I'm not fucking leaving.
Darius, thought experiment. The Andor trailer is fire. It's the music choice that sucks. Watch it with the Empire theme playing, and it's fine.
That is funny, Michael. That is actually funny because I actually gave the example on the stream the other night about you guys have seen those examples of music not fitting certain scenes or whatever. But that is actually true. I guess if I did that, maybe because I'm not saying the visuals don't look like Star Wars because it does, but I don't like that, but I'll accept it. Still not watching the show by any means. I'm boycotting that.
I'll touch on this. It is disrespectful, and it's going out of your way to disrespect for a second time this week to put radio music with lyrics, rock music that we can find in our world in a Star Wars trailer. They've done it before for the Skeleton Crew trailer, and the feedback, it was the top comment underneath there. Everyone knows that's not what we like, the fans. Yet we get it a second time, and it's disrespectful. In my face as a fan. Mm-hmm. I'm not being over dramatic, and you guys, oh boo-hoo, look at this guy calls himself Chillmonger, and he just does videos and he complains about music in Star Wars. Yeah, that's what's happening. Like, other fandoms don't do this to us. When Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi comes out, which Lucasfilm could have had, when this gets produced, we're gonna be so in love with the loyalty that they have, the fan service that there will be. There's just levels, and there's just shout out to all the creators who do things for us that we like. Kathleen Kennedy is not one of them. She puts music in the Andor trailer after the Skeleton trailer.
See, and I don't like, it is fiction, but these are things that I've said this so many times. I grew up on Star Wars. These are things that we love, things we grew up on, regardless of it being real or fake or not. When I go into this fictional world, it's an escape. It's to, for me to sit back and enjoy the things that I grew up on loving. And I understand things change. It's not, whatever. But at the same time, there is a certain heart, a certain feel, a certain vibe to Star Wars. And when you are outright bluntly pissing on that in front of the fans, and you are saying certain things that are going to get a rise out of fans, not doing what the fans want, telling us we're getting more Rey and how we all feel about that. How the fans feel about that. It's not so much that it's fiction, it's the disrespect to the fiction.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Keep trying to push this shit ball up a hill.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Another super.
I'm sorry, go ahead. Yeah, I didn't know there was another super. I was going to say lanterns, but we'll get that super.
My segue was going to be, speaking of getting slapped in the face, and I was going to play this Will Smith song.
Fly as an eagle, fresh out of Philly. Yeah, I still rep the city. Mirrors on the wall, worth $500 million.
Michael Nemo. Appreciate you, Michael, for being here for this week and every other week. 5 minutes into this fan production, and I don't know anyone's sexual preferences. F that.
I definitely don't sound like Nerdrotic. And your last part there, Andor is good. That is an opinion. That's an opinion.
What the hell do why do you even bring that name up? What that got to do with
criticizing Star Wars doesn't make you nerdrotic. If I say there's music in a trailer that doesn't fit, music in a trailer doesn't fit.
God, that is such an annoying narrative. Just because someone does not agree with you does not then mean that they are hating. It does not then mean that they are sounding like someone that they're not, or need to eat a Snickers or something like that. It's none of that bullshit. It just simply means I don't like what you like, and that's it.
That is the name that he chose. Like I personally have driven that name through the mud. Like
I've heard you
up and down. It's just crazy the name that he chose to compare it to.
Jefferson Starship was in the second movie. What does he mean?
Who the fuck is Jefferson Starship?
Force Healing was in Splinters of the Mind's Eye. Jefferson Starship was in second movie. I don't know what you mean. Stamina MC says, I love Ando and will be sated, but that music was indefensible. All right. Well, there you go. At least you're telling the truth. Y'all starting to sound... Will Smith's been going off lately. Hey, Zendaya is going to be the child of Charlize Theron and what's her name?
Charlize Theron and Will Smith and Hancock.
I'm not talking about the music. I'm talking about the show. And even with that, me saying you saying that's still an opinion. You don't like or that you like the show. That's great. Are you saying that the show is good? That's an opinion, sir. I watched the first 2 episodes of Andor.
People can have different opinions. So can we have a different opinion without being nerdrotic?
Right.
We're like, how you gonna try to play that both ways? So for our opinion, we have to be like somebody you don't like. But for your opinion, hey, I'm allowed to have my own thing over here, man. I'm allowed to have my own thoughts,
Is this Stephanie? Jabari Mohammed. Stephanie, is this you?
No, shut up.
It's been a year.
Wrong.
One more. Because I respect takes that are opposite. He says the fans feel that way. Editor's note: they are talking about some of the most successful films of all time. I know you don't know what I mean. If a budget is really high and it grosses $1 billion, sometimes the budget can be so high.
That's 2 comments I'm now confused on from Aggressive. What are we talking about on both of those? Are we talking about the grossing of the Star Wars films?
Ignore it. Don't. Dre Mack can argue you back Aggressive or Maxes. We're not going to do that. When Green Lanterns become HBO True Detectives, meet HBO's pulpy, prestige Lanterns. We got Aaron Pierre and Chandler. What's his name?
Chandler Parsons.
Chandler. No, that's
not. That is not right. That is not right.
Him. If you take a peek down there, you can see he has his ring finger on the right side.
That's what Chandler's been up to since leaving the league.
Yeah, him and Michelle Beadle.
Wrong
and then
one.
this guy also is wearing the ring, which is hidden, which they totally did on purpose. And we can't see the ring on his right hand, on his ring finger.
I didn't even know
Chandler.
till just now that they even had the rings on.
Name's Kyle Chandler.
Thank
yeah, why are they not suited up here? I'm really taken aback by that part. The more I looked at it, the more I thought about it. I'm like, this is the first time we're seeing them. Why do they not have the suits on?
Brother.
This is I don't like this. Why even show this? Come on,
Why?
James. Come on, James.
Why?
This
was so underwhelming.
You guys are both wrong. What are they supposed to do?
No.
Last time when Superman was putting on the suit, everyone's complaining that he's putting on the sock.
Because
one
they
shoe at a
suck.
time.
Just don't make the suit suck.
Well, this just happens to be part of the show where, and remember, it's a TV show, so don't expect too much fantastic stuff. This is the part of the show where they're dressed like this. That's what he wanted to share. He didn't have to share anything. There's no rule that every time you see a superhero for the first time, you got to be in the suit.
You're right. You're right on that part. But this looks like a Ford commercial.
They don't have to show them fighting anybody. They don't even got to be doing nothing. Show me a still of one of them in the suit. This looks like this could be in any movie ever.
A Ford commercial.
Nothing about this that tells me that this has to be lanterns.
If this, I wish they were moving in this, because I would have done it myself. I would have edited the Ford tough voice built for and have them walking. It's because it looks like a Ford commercial. It's like it looks like I didn't like this. This was so underwhelming. I was like, this another L for James Gunn.
You just said you didn't even notice the ring he had.
I didn't notice the ring he had on until you just said that. I didn't know this, but because I was too focused on why the fuck is he dressed like he's going to pick up his daughter from school.
Well, he's got the ring now. Are you still underwhelmed with the ring?
I'm still underwhelmed because he's not using it.
If I was James, I would have reached out to Vanity Fair and said, listen, if you hold this one back, I promise you I will have juicier content for you in a month, in 2 months. I will have something better to show you. I just don't think that it does them any favors to be putting out stuff like you're not in a dominant position where people are going to be drooling over any little morsel of content that you throw out there to them. It's actually the opposite. They're actually jumping on it and ready to criticize you at every turn. So then why offer this up like that? Do you think the first time we see Amanda Waller, she's going to be sitting in a library somewhere talking to random strangers? No, she's going to be standing somewhere in a situation room surrounded by people giving her the situation. Because that's what you expect to see from Amanda Waller. The first time we probably see Booster Gold, he going to have a suit on.
Well, the first time we see the lanterns, they're together.
Dirt road.
They're together.
They're together. Looks like Route 66 on their way to like, what are we doing?
In the middle of the damn desert. He got that ring on. Why don't you use
like they're on their, they look like they're on their way to Radiator Springs.
Fly me out of here.
Chill, go ahead and laugh because you know that shit was funny. Looks like they're on their way to fucking Radiator Springs on Route 66. All they're missing is Rascal Flatts in the background with Life is a Highway. This looks terrible. This was a terrible first look. This was awful.
Now, at least it's not footage. This is just a picture, right? If this was actual footage and that's all they showed of us, I feel like it would have been worse. So now they get a chance with the teaser to kind of, get over all of this. I don't think it's that negative. I just didn't like the fact that they didn't show them in the suits. If you're gonna put something in Vanity Fair, give us something.
Somebody on Twitter said, "In lightest bright day, in medium brightest night." Wait a minute, I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me read it right. In light brightest day, in medium blackest night, and then they have a picture of him.
In light brightest day, in medium blackest night.
Oh, that shit's funny. Oh, but he's happy. He's excited for this. So I think he's going to give a really good performance. I've watched a few interviews that he's given talking about it. He's really
so fake happy. Oh, you've given me a comic book. I don't want to remove it from the plastic. I'll just cherish this. Shut up, bro.
I think they should mirror True Crime or True Detective, True Detective, in building up this series. Like I'm thinking it. Hey, Gray, get out my head, bro. Get out of my head. Yes, no, this absolutely has to be a True Detective style show. I'm thinking True Detective, but the villains that they're hunting are superpowered.
It looks like
Sinestro. It's Sinestro, is it not? Isn't Sinestro the villain?
Is that who's going to be the main villain? Oh yeah,
yeah. Who's the guy that's playing him?
You're right. You're
yeah,
right.
the guy that's playing him.
So
yeah.
They
So
said yes. You guys are good. Official Liam G says also, why the hell is there barely any green in the first look? That's green.
Yeah. What's greenish?
That's just like a vibrance on 0 green.
Nigga, that's brown.
Brown and
you talking about the jacket? You talking about the jacket on Chandler?
Yeah,
that's just brown. That's just brown.
It's the same color as the grass in the background that is fading.
The dead grass?
Yeah.
When grass is dying, it turns brown.
Well, Hal Jordan's dying. It's the Jon Stewart era in this game. In this movie.
Oh, is Kyle in this too? Or is he just showing up in Superman?
You mean the other one, Guy Gardner?
Guy Gardner. Yeah, he's showing up in Superman.
Yeah,
he should be for an episode. Why not?
What
I didn't like is in the Variety Fair, they said like this is not like this is on its own, and maybe we'll get a second season. I'm like, no, you're supposed to know what the plans are. This is supposed to build to his movie appearance. Like, what are we doing right now? Lanterns might, if we hope, has a second season. I want you to have plans, and it didn't feel like that. It felt like this is something separate happening in the corner of DC. And damn, what a wrong thing to say for me, who wants to believe that you guys are building to something and you're not.
It was building it up.
But what did he just recently say about the animated show? Is the animated show not
Commandos?
My Adventures
No,
of Green Lantern.
Oh, wow, gotcha.
It's in the same universe as the
one and something about Superman. It's a Superman one too.
So did he lie? So is because didn't he say whatever we do in animation, our voice actors are going to be live action people? So is Aaron Pierre voicing this Green Lantern?
Oh, you think it's going to be starring Jon Stewart? Guys, Hal Jordan is the primary Green Lantern, and the main character.
So is Chandler voicing?
I don't think that's the concept of the show. I think they're going to follow all of them. I think My Adventures with Green Lantern kind of implies that they'll be going over all of them.
Oh yeah, she joined in at the right time. I just said that. He's lying again. Lying again. It's still fractured. It's even more fractured.
It's fractured as hell. Matter of fact, if we just keep it all the way funky, it was a little bit more cohesive when we were in Dark Gray Snyder world than at least the early phases. Now I'll give him his just due that he's transitioning into his stuff. So it'll probably be another year or so before we're firmly in the middle of what he's doing. But again, nonetheless, it has been no more cohesive than it was when he started. Probably less.
Everyone's telling me that it's the female Green Lantern, Jessica Cruz. The enemy of representation is quantity.
That's awful. That's awful. I don't know why we doing that. We got enough Green Lanterns to choose from.
So talking about the villain?
Marcus, I'm converting you. Good. Yeah, it sounds really good. We've got enough Green Lanterns. Why the hell are we skipping Jon Stewart?
No. Jessica Cruz and Jon Stewart are not created equal. Those are not the same characters.
Okay, I still think that.
They're not the same. They are not the same. But
thumbs still up.
No. It's fine. I will lend to your point in that regard enough that they're absolutely not supposed to have Jessica Cruz being on. That's just it is a waste. It's a waste.
I'm trying to find that. What they just said. They said something about lanterns. Yeah, I don't know. James better get his shit together. Again, commenting on shit that just does not matter, James. Like today, debunking the Daniel Radcliffe about Clayface. Who the fuck cared? No one cared.
I didn't give a shit when the scoop came out. I sure as hell didn't give a shit when you came out and clarified. I did not care.
Man, I'm like, James, run the fucking studio.
No, this isn't true. Now, if we see Daniel Radcliffe at Warner Brothers Studios next spring filming for
Right.
Clayface, I want you all to remember that he was so vehement about saying that it wasn't Daniel Radcliffe.
Anyone who's trying to delegitimize journalism is our enemy.
Yeah, he said 100% false.
Okay, it better be. It better not see Daniel Radcliffe anywhere around DC Studios. Liar!
Tina says the animated Green Lantern just cruises a video. I've been working on DC for a week. It's exhausting. Well, everyone's gonna check out She Dreads Me.
Sure,
when
definitely
that video's out. And then also check out Blue, who was up in here. He's a YouTuber, and the Basco Scenario is a YouTuber who was also watching us. Support those who support us. Thank you, everyone.
For sure.
Here comes the woke thumbnails. That's probably coming. Yeah.
Where else have we seen Jessica Cruz other than the comics? Where else has she popped up? Was she in League Unlimited? Was she in any of the the animated films I would have known, Injustice or
No, she's not in any of the animated things. I was kind of thinking animated. I even was just running through Young Justice, but no.
What about a video game?
Please don't tell me this girl is completely unknown outside of comics.
Okay, why though? Why? So expand on it.
Well, because again, you could have taken that opportunity to put John in a better light in unison with what you're already showing in live action. I wouldn't have been terribly mad at you if you took another swing at Hal or Guy, but like it just feels like you're going to spend the majority of the time trying to tell people who she is. By the time you get there, people are probably going to be disinterested.
And there's so many other Green Lanterns that she's going to have to wait her turn for a very long time.
She was in Super Pets. Stop it, Liam. Get on. Get on. With Kevin Hart and The Rock.
We asked.
Get the fuck out of here.
We asked. And it's going to be.
She is the Lantern in that movie.
Ooh.
That's right.
Shit. Oh man, that's funny. That was a
right.
good one.
She is.
And there's going to be so many other opportunities in the future where Green Lantern people will appear, and she'll be passed up for other people. Guy Gardner, he's in the Superman movie, and Hal and John specifically. So there's at least 3 Earth Green Lanterns.
Animated movie.
Eli, which one? I really am running through them. Because damn, like John and Hal are barely in some of them. So which one is she in?
Justice League versus the Fatal 5. Thanks, Latrell.
Is she? Hold the fuck up.
Well, I hope they go back and watch Justice League versus the Fatal 5. Really get acquainted.
That's like.
Oh shit, she is, isn't she? That is fucking right.
Why does Earth need 4 lanterns?
Why did HBO take this off? It's not on HBO Max anymore.
Willow.
Willow.
Because it had such low viewership, it wasn't worth the bandwidth.
What was the other show that they announced? It wasn't just The Adventures with Green Lantern. It was something Superman related, I thought.
The film?
No, an animated series. There were
Wasn't
2.
it more of the adventures with my hero Superman, my dad, my bro, my friend, whatever it's called?
Superman, yeah.
Oh yeah, Starfire. It was. That's what Lauren said. It was the Starfire one.
Starfire was coming out too.
The Starfire one. Yeah.
I remember seeing they anticipate 2 movies a year, 2 animated films a year, and then an animated film every year.
So he's out of his mind. It's very
7
aggressive.
projects a year. That is aggressive.
It's too aggressive for him. Brother, you can't even get anybody to play Sergeant Rock. I take a seat. And
yeah, but we just learned. It's not aggressive.
You said the wrong thing, Darius. It's not that he can't get somebody to play.
No
Sergeant
one wants.
Rock. It's that he's trying to make Sergeant Rock. That's
well, that too.
Problem.
Yes. I've said yeah. That is the issue.
Jeez,
that is the issue.
That is the issue. It'll be simple because none of these shows have anything to do with anything. He's not building to anywhere, so he can just hire a screenwriter here, go have fun. It's going to be 2 lanterns, and they're going to be chilling in bumfuck nowhere wearing off green, and that's why he can be able to handle so many of these projects. I'm kind of. He's got to do something different. They just came off of Flash. They just came off Aquaman and Wonder Woman. That's why he's not doing Flash, Aquaman, or Wonder Woman when he's starting. He wants to be different.
Stupid.
It's
They're
a lot of
coming.
different.
I know.
Clayface, Booster Gold, Amanda Waller, which I mean, shout out to Viola Davis, but that's what we started
Okay,
with.
but we're talking about projects that he announced back in. I have this bookmark. Projects that he announced back in whenever the fuck he did that announcement
January
in that closet.
31st,
Sergeant
2023.
Rock, Creature Commandos.
So we're talking about Waller. He announced. We're talking about the Authority. He announced. I'm forgetting another project. These are projects that are now not happening, or we still don't have scripts or haven't heard shit about them.
Paradise Lost. That was that Wonder Woman.
The
project
Wonder
I was
Woman one.
Thinking about the night we was talking. Yep.
We don't greenlight things in here without a script.
He announced 9 projects.
Got only 4 coming. Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. That's what's crazy.
He's imperfect,
Crazy.
and so
Still
we
don't
can
have shit for
criticize-
Waller.
I wonder why. And what did Viola Davis say at that award show? You have to pay us. So she said some recent quote like that. Pay me what I'm worth. Then don't say I'm the Black Meryl Streep. Pay me like I'm Meryl Streep.
Yeah. No, it's pretty sad. Like like you said, the Sergeant Rock thing is, why are we doing that? It just I say this every time. You have gods at your fingertips and you're doing Z level characters. I just don't understand that. I don't understand that.
It's got to be a budget thing. It's got to be he doesn't have enough budget to do a big movie like that. Like Zaslav said, he got to earn the
Zaslav
money.
is keeping the purse close to his chest.
Oh,
and
I
is
think
like,
so.
Probably.
We heard he just recently went at not James and Peter, but who did
Matt Reeve?
No, who did and that's probably gonna get messy too. Who did Fale Adu?
Oh my God. Yes, I know you're talking about.
He went at them.
Oh,
I forget. I can't remember his name.
Joker
but
2.
yeah, he
Todd
deserves it.
Phillips.
He deserves that. Fam, you were making that's a perfect example of somebody who didn't understand the genre they were playing in. It's like you got so uncomfortable with the people who got connected to a super villain that you tried to make a film embarrassing said supervillain for 2.5 hours. And let's just make it a musical on top of that. You deserve to have your ass run up out of that studio.
Then had the nerve to tell. Yes, Todd Phillips.
Goddamn Phillips.
Yes.
I don't want to see
Then had
Todd
the
Phillips'
nerve.
name on anything I'm going to see for a good long time.
Yeah. Like you said there, what did he say about you said you said somebody that doesn't understand the character, but then had the nerve to tell us as the fans that we didn't understand the character. We don't understand the character of the Joker.
You
like what?
Didn't understand. Clearly, you didn't understand. That's literally what it was. It was like, somehow I've served incels with this character. That makes me feel icky. So now I have to spend the entire next movie tearing that character down in awful fashion. It was awful.
Yeah.
We got a super from Michael. Were you going to say something, Darius? Sorry.
Oh, no. I was just looking at that one. I said, we're Static Shock. And I was about to agree.
I'll give you the Static Shock super chat. Alan, Hal Jordan, John Stewart, Guy Gardner, Kyle Rayner, Simon Baez, Jessica.
Yeah, I know Hal, John, and Guy, and I barely know Guy.
We know them. We know these guys by first names for a lot of them. But when you got to Simon Baz, if you have to even say the last name, doesn't that show how he's not rolling off the tongue? Did you have to clarify? There's too many. There was too many at. Well, Alan was out of the picture right when they rebooted, so Hal was fine. He got John, and there was a little buddy thing. Hey, give this guy a ring. They had a cool little story. But 2 people in one sector is a lot. Not just one planet, one sector.
One part, like in America. It's 2 of y'all living in America.
In America.
Like, what is going on? This is inefficient as hell. All this planet.
That's crazy.
Michael
Somebody
sent us
took a
another-
picture of the rings. I would say somebody took a picture of the rings close up and said, at least they could have gotten this right and given them both the same ring. I guess they don't have the same ring on. I zoomed in on the picture. They don't have the same ring on. They're different rings. Why are the rings different?
I
that's
did
funny.
hear about Teen Titans getting greenlit. He did say Teen Titans was getting greenlit.
He's greenlighting a lot of shit.
We're getting Teen Titans before Justice League, y'all. What a great decision. That just makes so much sense. A Superman movie, no Batman, and Teen Titans. This just all of it is unison.
Okay, Teen Titans is an awesome franchise with 2 generations of kids growing up on Teen Titans who are in their adulthood now. And the Titans TV show. It is a familiar brand. I don't think it's like there's other brands you could have crapped on right now. Teen Titans is pretty up there.
Before you got to get the full context of what I said.
Before Superman.
Doing Teen Titans before they're doing Justice League.
You're right.
What is the point of there being a Titans team if there isn't a bigger? He's essentially going to make the superhero team the DC Teen Titans. That's going to be the superhero team in the DCU.
That is true.
Because there is no Justice League established. How did we even get to a teen superpowered team when Superman and Batman are still out here fucking off?
Because he doesn't want to match what happened previously. Shazam is also not happening.
Then don't make it the way that they made it. Don't do the same story. That doesn't take away from the fact of you needing a superpowered team other than fucking Creature Commandos. Or whoever the hell's running around with John Cena and, Peacemaker.
Why do the same things all over again?
Doesn't have to be the same story, but are we really convinced that this thing stands, like this universe stands without a Justice League? Is anybody convinced that this thing lasts without forming a Justice League?
No.
It can happen, but it shouldn't.
No, it can't. It absolutely cannot, Jill. There's no rationale where we run through half a decade of this and there's no Justice League forming. He'll get fired. He'll be gone. No one's going to stick around that long.
Is the Legionnaires the team in the future?
Legionnaires.
I don't know who the
See,
Legionnaires
why couldn't his first look, like, why couldn't he do something like Zack Snyder? I love that quote that people say, Zack Snyder did this in his garage with a box of scraps.
That was Crimson Dynamo. That was
Obadiah.
Obadiah, yeah, yep.
But it's like, bruh, why? Like the first look that we get from this would have been Zach's first look. That's a first look.
That is a first look.
Yeah, you guys are kind of picky, but yeah, sure. He wasn't in a suit. A first look wasn't that spectacular. It has nothing to do with the quality of the film or TV show.
Hey, I didn't say that. I just said what an L first look.
Okay, good, fine. Give it an L.
Zack Snyder did this with his iPhone. I'm leaving it at that.
He did that after we already had an Avengers team. There was no longing for some superhero larger than life team. They needed a funny guy team. He's going to be making the funny guy team, and there's nothing else. Like, that's it. It's just the funny guy team. So who's going to save the world? Call the Titans. Go to San Francisco and call on them. Because Superman's busy with Lois, apparently, or playing fetch with Scruffy Crypto.
Batman just doesn't exist.
Batman don't exist.
Yo.
Now, what's going to happen with... I don't know if there's going to be a Batman 2. I don't think there's going to be a Batman 2 anymore. I don't care if they've seen the script or all that. Well, actually, Pattinson said he's read the script. James said a script hasn't been turned in. There's just no way in fuck I think they do 2 Batmans. I just don't. Come on.
So you think the Matt Reeves Batman that they've already signed for and agreed to everything before DC Studios came to be and before James Gunn became a person ahead of the studio, you think that's going to get canceled now? I think it's too late into development. Contracts have signed, ink is dried, and there will be a new thing unless whatever Matt Reeves has going on, because we don't know. But I heard from beyond the trailer from Grace Randolph, she was like, it's legitimate. He's actually going through some family issues, and you guys would feel bad if you knew, because everyone was slandering him.
Who's going through Matt? Matt is?
Matt
Reeves, the director of the Batman 2. So unless that stops the Batman from going into production, unless that happens, I think that the Batman is going to happen. Sully says, I need a Batman 2. You don't need it. It's not canon. It's just like a,
I mean, if you're a Batman fan, you'd like to see it, I guess.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, I don't think we get a Batman 2 until there's some decision made on whether or not it's either going to be Reeves leading the show with that Batman under the DCU umbrella, or that version of Batman is going to revert back to James Gunn when Reeves is no longer running it. That's just kind of how it's going to go.
Yeah, because it's insane to have two different Gothams at one time, two different Batmans at one time. So you're going to have a Gotham doing its thing over here with Matt Reeves, and then your Gotham's doing its thing, and then and I get it. I can discern the difference. I can sit down and be like, okay, sure, this is a different, obviously, blah blah blah. But I just don't know how that pans out. I don't know how that pans out. How you do two universes at once, the same time at the same studio.
I don't even think it's the universe thing. The universe thing is doable if you have different characters. They want to have two Batmans going at the same time. That's tough.
Yeah.
Her. She's my answer. Her, Christine.
Who's the answer?
Milioti.
Hey, fire. Can't wait to see Sophia again.
She is going to be forced into the Batman 2. When I say forced, I mean forced. They're going to say this character was such a hit, award-winning. You're going to be from the Penguin to the Batman 2, just like that.
It's kind of crazy that we didn't. They made the Penguin obviously after Batman, but we like to see her before in that storyline from the Batman.
Mm-hmm. She was in Wolf of Wall Street. She was the unattractive wife.
Yeah, she is in Wolf of Wall Street.
The first wife, yeah, she was the first wife.
She's like, get out of the car, Jordan. Yeah, that was her.
Remember what Margot Robbie said? We're not going to be friends.
Because daddy's not going to touch mommy for a very, very long time.
You do an eerily good Margot Robbie. That is.
That's my movie, though, bro. I've seen that movie so many times. That's my shit.
Eerily.
I love that movie.
Then I think you're going to enjoy this super chat from Michael Nemo.
Cash rules everything around me. Get the money, dollar bill, yo.
This is a whole lot earlier when he said, when we're talking Star Wars, he says the quality of Star Wars has been so bipolar that when they hire good writers that make Andor and it doesn't feel like Star Wars, it's bound to be confusing. No, don't try to slip in your little Andor compliments. You Andor fans are all like, it's okay that we don't like it. 3 of us just don't like Andor. We don't want to yuck your yum. Go enjoy it, guys. Coming out in April or in March. Yum. It's coming up. Enjoy April 22, actually. April 22, check it out. Andor. But don't go like, you see, that's one of the writing. It's so bipolar, you see, guys. The Andor is going to be confusing when it starts acting like it's something another show. If it's good, it's good. You're all going to be disappointed when you watch the season. You go, wait, where was this all going to? Why? All of you, I enjoy the ride. You can really taste the Empire. All of you guys, enjoy. Have fun with it. Seriously.
You didn't really taste the Empire. I have no doubt that writing is good. I mean, people are actually genuinely interested in it. I can't. I want to see something that pushes Star Wars narrative forward, and that's not Cassian Andor. Right? It's just not. It's only so much story to go through there. One day I will eventually watch Andor. I will be bored enough that we'll have nothing to watch. I will watch Andor.
Okay.
But as I'm actively looking for new things to watch, it's just probably not going to be high on my list.
You can be watching Iyanu instead. You'll be watching the new Academy X series instead.
I did want to ask y'all. What y'all thought about this.
Oh, yeah, the artist of the book, I think his name was Perry Perez. He said that, yep, that's right. That is the Wanda from the MCU. He is not an authority. So I'm not saying that it is. It's meaningless. When has a comic book ever really mattered?
I am taking his word on it, just simply because we do know that Marvel made that agreement with the comics that they're going to be canon.
The purple screen is blank. It went blank. That's happened a couple times. What are we looking at? Put it back up. Oh, let me do it. Do you see it now, everybody?
No, they're not talking about me. They're talking about what you're doing the supers.
You sure?
Yeah. Michael was saying it earlier when he said that clip didn't show up. Nothing is on screen. Chill.
Don't see anything.
Now we see it.
Now we see it. Can't see Darius here.
Oh, now maybe they were talking about my hair.
Back and forth. Up now. Okay, up now. Yep.
Just repeat what you said the first time, though, about this picture. We were talking about it's a comic book image from the recent Scarlet Witch or the TVA comic book.
Yes, Marvel did say that they are working with Marvel Comics, obviously, for some events, certain events that they want to be canon and to the MCU to be canon. And so for him to make her
work,
for him to be making her wear the exact same thing that she was wearing in Multiverse of Madness, she's got the black fingertips. That's her.
What book is this in? What is this in?
I think it's the TVA.
TVA issue 3.
The TVA has a comic.
They do, and I think it's specifically for this stuff to be tied into the MCU.
It's just a limited series, and it'll be canceled. But the question is, all right, which universe is the 616?
What do you mean?
Comic universe or the MCU? Well, it's definitely not the MCU.
Well, now that they're sharing, this Wanda, she's not from the 616 Wanda. She's not, because the 616 Wanda is the one we've been reading in comics over the last few years. So what universe number is she? 199999.
199999. Yeah, all that other shit.
Gotcha, Kevin. He's not watching, but I got it.
I'd have to agree. So yeah, that's it. It is interesting though. I saw that. I was like, that's interesting. Which obviously led to a lot of different theories from people, with Dr. Doom and the love interest that he's supposed to have with Wanda. Maybe he breaks her out. Why does the TVA have her? Is it for the multiversal war? Is it because she's an Omega level being and she's dangerous? Is it because what she fucking did in Multiverse of Madness? So who knows? Who knows? But for those people, for you dead, Wanda's been dead this whole time, people. There you go. She's alive.
Show.
That was another wonderful episode of the weekly stream Pantheon, featuring Phil, Monger, Marcus from Back of the Bus, and Planet Fanatics, Darius. You know what bugs me? It's always been bugging me, but I never say it. You have your name and then the channel. He has his channel and then his name. Figure it out. Like even semicolon or the colon, figure it out.
I'm sorry.
No. We are both sovereign nations and we will go about our business as we see fit.
That is true. I am a sovereign nation. I definitely.
Do you have time to stick around, Darius, so I can record?
Would I be a dictator? If you had power, what would you do? Would you be a benevolent ruler, sovereign, fair? Would you be a dictator?
Dictator. Fair.
Better
dictator.
question. Better question. If you
T'Challa's
if
a
you could-
dictator.
if you could be a superhero or a villain, which would you be?
Hero.
Ew.
If you could be a superhero or a villain, would you be a hero and dictator don't run congruently. They can't run.
No. I'm changing it just completely. I'm asking if you want to be a hero or a villain.
Hero.
Which would you be? Oh well, I definitely. I guess I'm different. I'd be a villain.
Villains are fated to fall. Right?
Oh, why would
that's
fall?
the age. That's the age old tell. Well, first of all, there isn't a single villain in history that didn't fall. Not a single one.
You're right, but they ruled for quite some time, and I'd be the first.
The longer the rule, the greater the fall.
I'd catch myself, but I can tell you, I would definitely be a villain, and I would definitely be a evil, dictating ass villain too. Oh yeah,
I would want to live long enough to see myself become a hero.
The people are revolting. Bring the people in here.
Bring the people in here.
Bring the people in here.
Yeah. Okay, Mark. All right.
It's still. I say the same thing if I would have lived in the House of Dragon days. You don't want to bend the knee? Oh, okay, Dracarys. I'm not playing the game. I don't want to talk about it.
And that's why Jon Snow stabbed her ass. Okay.
He did that, didn't he?
He did stab her. Let's wrap it up.
He said, "Cough, Elon." All right, that has been a great episode. We will see all of you guys next Thursday. Yeah.
To the apartheid friends. Same applies.
See you guys all next Thursday for another great Pantheon stream. I think I'm live tomorrow. If not, I know I am this weekend for sure. When's the next time they can see you chill?
Oh, chill.
Next time you can see me is going to be on Saturday. I'll be streaming.
Saturday.
And as always, you can catch us on Sunday afternoons on Back of the Bus. Come catch us for Dubs and L's and Behind the Cape.
Oh, we have 63 people watching also. For those of you that don't know, I collect Marvel Legends. If anybody ever wants to send me something, I would love it. I just got this one. Isn't that fucking dope? Can't wait to put it with my Night Suns team.
While Darius is over here, asking for gifts, I'm going to use this time to tell all 50 people to follow the Pantheon Clips channel on YouTube. Make sure you run over there, follow that page for some intermediate Pantheon content throughout the week before we go live. Turn on your notifications as well.
I'm a collector.
Josh, cue the way.
Hey, I've been watching y'all every single time on Thursday and Friday because I swear to God, y'all switch up every now and then. But rock out. I'm fucking with it. I'm out.
Thank you, Josh.
Appreciate it.
I know.